Hope everybody's doing really good. Sorry about that. A little bit of feedback. We got multiple things going on here. I hope everybody's doing well. It's Mr. Chris with Funkatopia Radio Show. We're going to have some fun tonight. Welcome, one and all. Sandra, hello. Jeff will be joining us here shortly, as will Rob Rhythm. He'll be joining us as well. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, a lot of fun stuff and lyric stuff, lots of Prince news, and as well as some pretty amazing announcements. And trying to think what else. Andre, what's going on? Keely, hello. Susie, hello. Charlotte, Jeremy. Yeah, you like the shirt? This is actually, I guess it's a ticket from St. Paul Civic Center. It's a ticket for the time Sheila E. and Prince, and I guess they made it into a T-shirt. I happened to find it in Tennessee, of all places, and was like, okay, all right. I see you, Tennessee. It was expensive, but I was like, I got to show Tennessee that it's okay to carry this type of stuff. Donna, hello. Krista, hello. Yeah, tonight, lots of cool things we're going to be talking about some powerful Prince lyrics. We'll be talking about lyrics that Prince has done in the past, that he's talked about in the past, that he's covered in the past. Everything from politics to social stuff to racial injustice to, just everything. And we're going to be talking about some of the most powerful lyrics that he had. And we're also just seemingly tons of news. I was crazy. I don't know what was going on. I guess it was just like this never-ending churning news cycle that decided to come on. And it's, I don't know. Andre says the Prince statue has to move. Are you talking about, what statue are we talking about? I don't have any Prince statues that I'm aware of in my office. But maybe I do. I definitely need to make sure that I get this. I definitely want to make sure that I get this. There we go. I got to get that lava lamp in the mix. Yeah, so there's lots of different things that we're going to be talking about tonight, and probably going to have a special guest drop in. Ashley Tamar will probably be dropping in at some point in time tonight to talk about a special announcement here in Atlanta. We kind of broke a little bit of the news before. Megan, hello. How are you? Linda, hello. Carrie, hello. Andre says I didn't hear about that. Oh, you guys will have to. Cammie, send me a link about this. They're saying that the statue in Henderson has to move. I didn't even hear that news. That's even more news that we would have to cover. So wow, a little bit of everything. That's all cool. Teresa, what's going on from Rochester, New York? Obviously, Jaden's coming here to say hello momentarily. Yeah, they said the big Prince statue in Henderson has got to move. That's insane. Oh, she got a Prince armband on. That's nice. Okay. Actually, I think I was going to wear that, but I didn't know what happened to it.
You gave it to me.
Oh, did I? Okay. Yeah. There you go. So we'll find out more about that. Somebody hopefully will find news. Cammie got some more news that you just got home from a funeral for one of your classmates. Cammie, I don't know. You just seem to have like a never-ending sad news, bad luck happening. It's kind of, I'm sorry. Anna, what's going on from Australia? Anna from Australia. Jaden's obsessed with Australia because of those, what are they called?
The Norris nuts.
The Norris nuts. The kids from Australia, all they do is scream and holler and go, crikey, there's a kangaroo in the shopping mall. Oh my gosh. Anyways. Hey, Cassandra, how are you? Greg coming in from Milwaukee. All right, then. I've got to pay attention to the clock too. We got the long version of I have a long version of mountains going right now, but as soon as that is over, we will he said we got some information here. And Candy goes, hey, we got a kangaroo in our backyard. Crikey, it's time for a barbecue. A dingo ate my baby.
You really like cooking that much?
It's kind of like how we say literally all the time. Crikey, he was right there. I saw it with my own eyes. The kangaroo took his head clear off. I'd never believe it if I didn't see it myself. And then the dingo ate my baby. It's all over.
What's a dingo?
I don't know. It's a mean dog. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so lots of fun. But Anna, yeah, so I hope you guys I'm going to try to copy that link, Andre, and find it. I can't, for some reason in StreamYard I can't copy it, so I'll have to copy it in something else. I'll try to find it. Cam, if you could email that to me. You could email that to me, that'd be great. All right, we got Jeff in the mix. Let's pull Jeff into the scenario. Oh, you know what I don't have?
Chicken nugget.
No, I don't have the yeah, I don't have the sound effects, Jeff. So you're gonna have to do the sound effects all night. Hey. All right, Jeff's got all the sound effects all figured out. Look at the whole fucking story back there.
On the TV.
Jeff is here. Yeah, Ladybug's in the house tonight. Mary, what's going on? Janice, hello. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. And we'll wait for Rob to come in, who will come in right as we start the show. I'm all like wrapped up. Hold on.
How's everybody doing? Everybody rocking it out? Are we in good spirits today? This evening, I hope.
Yeah, they were telling me about some news that that Henderson, the statue in Henderson, has got to move. They're wanting to move it.
Really?
Yeah, we got to find some news on there. I was, all these pieces of information. All these pieces of information I was not aware of. If you guys are tuning in, I am sorry. This is a pre-show, is basically what this is, and so we kind of talk about things just to kind of welcome folks and get them in and get them all involved and whatnot, and then get them situated, and then we start the show. We're going to be starting the show here in 1 minute and 45 seconds. This is actually where we're going to be starting this show, and we got lots of cool stuff to talk about. Faux show. Man, lots of cool stuff coming on. There we go. I got to move some things around. And actually, it's all good. We're gonna be good. Yeah, lots of Prince news to talk about tonight for sure. It's just seemed like one thing after another. It was just like pow, 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 and I just like, okay, all right. And apparently there's some more news that Henderson. Let me see if I can find this here. Facebook.com before the show starts here. Let's add this to the news. Thank you for letting me know about that, Andre. Henderson.
So can I be heard fine? Am I good? My voice, everything's good?
I'm sure it's on the Prince Legacy Hender thing. Apparently,
can I be heard fine?
Okay, I think I found it. Okay, yeah, I found it. All right, we'll talk about that too, I guess. Jeff reminds me of MD for Terrence Trent D'Arby. Oh, here we go. Hold on a second.
Wow.
This is that fade out. Hold on a second. I got to switch audio sources here. I don't want to do it too soon.
And you smell the phone, and you see the phone, and you walk around the phone trying to get rid of the phone. It's awesome.
What's up, everybody? Hi. Checkity check. Oh yeah, baby. Fuckers hope you're alive. It's Christopher in the house. Okay. Andre says new beginning. No, we've been doing this for. We've been playing that song as our intro. We've been playing that song as our intro for a very long time. That is Dumpsta Funk. Actually, the song is called "Dirty Word" by band Dumpsta Funk, and we just played a little intro for it, and we make sure we do not play more than 30 seconds of it. But hey, how's it going? It is Mr. Christopher with the Funkatopia radio show. Funkatopia Live is actually what we call this. We had enough different names. I don't know. And my illustrious co-host, Mr. Jeff Page. And
with his own sound effects.
Yes, because I don't know where my iPad went to that has the sound effects on it, but there are going to be quite a bit of different changes that we're going to be doing here in regards to some of this stuff. Like, first of all, we are going to be, one of the main things that I wanted to do, make sure of, we're going to be changing the board. So I don't know if you guys, maybe I can only hear it through here, or maybe you can hear it. There's like a really light buzz. It's kind of like, I don't know. Maybe it's only me that I can hear it, but it's something that there you go. Now I'm not talking
slight
about
buzz.
I'm not talking about that kind of buzz, but there's like it. And I came across this board that's made by Rode, the same guys that make the camera mics, and they actually have a podcast board that actually has pads on it so that you can put all your sound effects and everything that you want to kind of have on quick hit. So there's no setting up anything. It's like all built in there. Everything is set up with the podcast. You can share YouTube. Everything can be done through this friggin' board. And it is time to upgrade this board, because this board just has some little weird notes, and I just can't.
You mean I won't have to do my own sound effects anymore?
No, you can still do. People will be very sad. People will be very, very sad if you don't do your sound effects. So we'll make sure that you can still do your sound effects. We're not going to take that away from you.
Cool.
But yeah, so there's that. And so yeah, man, we got so much stuff to talk about today. I don't know where Rob is. I thought he was going to come in, but
thought so too.
It's okay. It's all right. He's, we still got a lot of stuff going on, but I can tell you this. Next week we are off. We are closed on November 2nd. So we'll be doing a special show on November 2nd, a repost of a rebroadcast of a show on November 2nd. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because I'm not even sure myself. We'll be doing something November 2nd. Yeah, there you go. So we'll be doing a show November 2nd that's pre-recorded, and we'll be doing that there. And then we'll be back in the studio November 9th. And I might add that where I'm sitting, if you're watching the video, if you happen to be listening on the Funked Up app or on Funkatopia, you can actually watch this whole entire thing unravel live in person on video. Facebook.com/Funkatopia, Funkatopia, and also YouTube.com/Funkatopia. And you can actually watch us here. You can watch me, you can watch Jeff, you can watch Rob when he's here, you can watch all of us. We're all here, and it's a lot of fun. And November 9th, all three of us are going to be in my office. So we're all going to be in the same studio right where I'm at. So we're going to see how that's going to work. It's going to be a lot of fun, because Rob is going to be in town in Atlanta. Jeff is already here in Atlanta. So all three of us are collectively coming back together, and we're going to be doing it from one location, which ought to be interesting. I don't know how all that's going to work, but we'll figure it out. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and we have no idea what we're going to do.
It's a good chance it might be funky both ways, musically and just overall.
Where's that GIF? Where's that GIF, Jeff?
We're going to make it funky up in here.
Oh my gosh, I need to share that GIF. Anyways, we're not going to do it. We'll just do it later. No, we're not drinking tonight. So, and it's just that. But again, tons of Prince news that we have to talk about. And we also have a special announcement tonight, because there's a reason that Rob is in town. There's actually a couple reasons why Rob is in town. The first of which we will tell you about shortly, when we are joined by the beautiful Tamar. Ashley Tamar Davis is going to be joining us here at some point in time. I think she's going to be joining us like at 8:30, I think is when she's coming in. And she's got a special announcement that we are going to be breaking out to you regarding, go ahead and give you the date, November November 11th. November 11th is the date, and it's a very special event, and it's happening in Atlanta. And so if you're in driving distance from Atlanta, you're going to want to be here because it's going to be a friggin' boatload of fun. So please check it out. And we'll tell you what it is very, very shortly. We'll give you all the details here, right here live, but it's a very, very fun, Prince type event. We're going to be doing lots of different things, but we got lots of news to cover before then, Prince news. And,
just make sure they understand one of the reasons he'll be here is love. Just love, just pure love for us as a group.
Yeah,
Hugs.
that's right.
Hugs.
Hugs. And we had to limit it to hugs, cause we have to, anyways. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to pull up the notes and whatnot. So let's talk about the news, shall we? I guess since Rob is not here, Andre's posting stuff. We'll share. Actually, we can go ahead and share that information.
Let's do it.
Did I close it? I didn't close it. Let me share this. I'm going to share my screen because I was talking about all the news that was coming up, and Andre shared that for those of you who have been to Minneapolis and have taken that drive from Minneapolis down to Henderson, which is about 45 minutes or so away from, and it's where the lake scenes were shot from Purple Rain. And of course, a huge part of the tourism that comes into Minnesota goes to Henderson because now they have a bronze statue that is located in the middle of the town of Henderson. And it's pretty cool. If you've never seen it, it's actually really, really cool. And they've got some really cool stores there and whatnot. And I'm sure the stores that are around there that are taking advantage of that tourism that's coming through that town has got to be really devastated about this news. But apparently, according to the news, maybe I won't share because this is just kind of text, but I guess let you guys read along. What do you think? I think I should share it or just read it? Because it's just
I think
text.
you should share it and read it.
All right, share it and read it. That's what we'll do then. Let me share this, and hopefully that won't create a whole bunch of craziness. Are you seeing that okay? Yeah, here we go.
There you go.
All right. It says it's from the Prince Legacy Henderson Project Incorporated. It says important news. Change is sometimes difficult, but often necessary due to circumstances beyond our control. Other than those local to Henderson, many are not aware that ownership of the Henderson Road House and Henderson Event Center changed recently. PLHP, which is their thing, Prince Legacy Henderson Project, was hopeful that the transition would be smooth concerning the Prince Garden. However, that is not the case. Without warning or discussion, use of the existing road house Wi-Fi necessary for the security cameras has been arbitrarily cut off. There is no other Wi-Fi available close enough to support the cameras, and the current owner has expressed no interest in supporting the location of our beautiful memorial area. PLHP has decided that the best and safest option is to relocate everything possible, and Heart of Henderson has graciously allocated the space necessary within their store for the Prince statue, bench, road sign, post, and plaques. The flower boxes, wood benches, and purple table with chair have already been relocated to the east wall along the sidewalk of the store. The mailbox donation box has been relocated to outside the front door of the shop. And PLBHP is happy with this relocation, which will be safe from vandalism, secure, and out of the sun, rain, and harsh Minnesota winter, which will help us maintain this beautiful memorial. And of course, they give the address for the new location. Heart of Henderson is actually in the antique store that many of you probably have seen if you've gone to Henderson. There is a caddy corner from where the statue was. There was this really cool antique store. And if you've never walked through that antique store, it's unbelievable. Like, it's one of these antique stores, and I don't know if it's because of the location, but the pricing on the stuff is like normal. Like, I saw this really antique looking owl clock that was kind of like this cuckoo clock, and I was just thinking, oh my gosh, it's got to be like a few $100, and you look at the tag and it's like $25. So it's like this really neat antique shop that's got some really great pricing. And on top of that, it used to be a bank, and the vault that is inside of this store that was used by the bank, they turned it into the vault for Prince stuff. So all the artists like our friend Mary Johnson and they all send their Etsy stuff and their all these homemade crafts and art that goes into this store and into this vault, and they sell it there in the vault. And it's really cool. It's just this whole entire area that is all dedicated to Prince in this store. And apparently, I guess they are also going to be accommodating the statue and everything else, because I imagine that it brings a lot of traffic to them.
Right.
So I think it's really, really cool. This is what's happening. It's kind of bummer because, you have to wait for the store. You always had access. So if you wanted to take a ride out there at 2:00 in the morning, you could go and see it. Now it's going to have to be store hours. I just find it weird that you can't get Wi-Fi out there to support these cameras or what has happened with this. It's just kind of weird. But anyway,
they try to make it feel like, that feel good about it. And realistically, I don't care where you put something. Nothing is completely safe from vandalism. So just to say that makes me laugh. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised. Would you actually be surprised if somebody just upped and just stole the statue? I mean, I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened, to be totally honest.
Well, you say stuff like that and you're just opening it up for a challenge, unfortunately.
Not because you wouldn't
you
wouldn't have any use for it. I mean, it was like you couldn't sell it because you would immediately get caught.
Right.
And you couldn't really keep it anywhere. I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. It's actually pretty cool. But the lady that owns that store is actually really, she's got so much antique stuff in there, and I found some amazing deals up top, because you can go up to the top of this building, and there's tons of antiques up there, like really old. You're like into baseball and things like that, old antique stuff. Speaking of baseball, obviously a couple of no, I haven't got the information, Jeff, about Eric. Eric Leeds was on the show a couple of weeks ago. Or was it a few weeks ago? But I think it was a couple weeks ago.
A few weeks.
And we and he wants to come in and do a part 2, because we did not even get to the halfway mark of all the questions that we had to ask him. But he was in the middle of the playoffs because he's a huge Dodger fan, and he wanted to watch. I mean, huge Hoogie. And he wanted to check it out. And he wanted to watch the game, and he let us have like 3 innings, but then he says, I got to go. I got to watch this game. So he basically said that, he basically said that he would come back on for part 2. But all that being said, the Braves beat the Dodgers.
Yep. And
the Houston Astros are in this too. So it's the Astros and the Braves. Neither one of them Eric is a fan of. But so I reached out to Eric and I said, look, I'm sorry about the whole Dodgers thing. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Right.
Yeah, it is. He did say after the World Series, he did say, let's kind of push it. So,
so he said that he would come back on after the World Series, but I did want to read this email that he sent regarding the World Series it's just started like minutes ago. But he said, Eric Leeds sent this to me. He says, congrats to the Braves. Tired arms and injuries hurt the Dodgers, and an unlikely hero in Rosario. Always liked him when he was a Twin. I am split on the World Series. I don't like Houston as a franchise, but I like Dusty Baker. I hate having to listen to the Braves fan continue to do the chop chant, but the players can't do anything about it except tell them to stop. So I'm leaning towards the Braves, if only to root for the underdog. Houston has to be the favorite team because of their bats, but anything can happen in a 7-game series. No one would have predicted this matchup. Even though I'm a Dodger fan, I have to feel bad for the Giants and their fans. They won 107 games, and all they can do is watch.
Right.
So, yeah. So if you want to talk baseball, Eric Leeds is your man, because he will talk.
Yeah, definitely.
Like half of that, I was like, I don't know who that is. I'll just take your word for it. That guy's good, or that guy's good, or this team's good. But yeah, so Eric, that was funny.
Yeah, I spent quality time watching the playoffs, both sides. I watched Atlanta and I watched the Red Sox. And
I had to watch. I was watching the last Braves game, which was, I guess, game 6. I was watching, and I want to go ahead and share the screen here. Anyways, I made Jaden watch the last out. I was like, if he gets this out, then the Braves go to the World Series. You need to watch this. You need to watch this. And she turned around with this like, And then they got it, said the Braves are going to the World Series. And she was like, and then she turned over and it was just like, there's no interest whatsoever. But I made her watch it anyways. So let's talk about Prince news, shall we? And let's start off with this Under the Cherry Moon viewing. Now, what's really unusual is that the Rodney Fitzgerald's group, Rodney's a really good friend of mine and a good friend of Funkatopia. They did an Under the Cherry Moon screening. I don't remember exactly what the date what it was released or when they did this, but they actually did an Under the Cherry Moon screening at the Chanhassen Cinema, and they descended upon Paisley Park, and they had this whole shindig, and they had a bunch of fun hanging out, and they watched the movies, and they actually had who did they have? They actually had Scotty. I'll pull it up, but it's the Prince 365 celebration. They actually had. Sorry, I should have been ready for this one, but I didn't realize I was going to mention them. Dave Hampton and Scotty Baldwin that came out and did a Q&A at Paisley Park. And so it was really cool. So they did this whole entire thing, and there was a lot of people there. I mean, there was quite a bit of folks.
Mhm.
I mean, if I had to do a head count, I mean, I'm thinking somewhere close to about 60 or 70 people that were probably there just from what I'm seeing.
Wow.
So it was actually a pretty good turnout for Rodney and the Club Prince 365 group. It was actually pretty cool. But apparently, according to Paisley Park, they must have liked the idea, so they decided that they're going to do one of their own. And, but I guess they're going to they could have just, I don't know what they could have done. But this one's going to be taking place on November 20th from 7 to 10, which I don't, and I'm wondering, if this date was wrong. What was the 20th? What was the 20th? What date was it? October 20th. October 20th was. No, that was Wednesday. Yeah, no. So this is a totally different event. Under the Cherry Moon, they're going to be showing the Under the Cherry Moon movie, which is celebrating its 35th anniversary this year, and they're going to be having a little bit of a whole shindig at Paisley Park, and they have two special guests that are going to be appearing. I don't know who it will be. Maybe Jerome. I don't know. I don't know who is going to be, but they got two special guests, kind of exactly what 365 just did. Admission is $30, which includes the Q&A with the two special guests and the screening of the movie. And additionally, it's a parking pass that you have to pay for. That is $20, and it's like a whole thing. So Nick just sent me a text. What did Nick just say? He says, Under the Cherry Moon, November 20th. They're doing it too. So this was already done. I mean, not to say anything about this event, but the 365 group already did it. Now that's not. I don't know. This is ordained by Paisley Park, I guess. And it's happening Saturday, November 20th, 2 days after my birthday, 7 to 10 at Paisley Park. They're going to be doing a screening, and they're going to have two special guests talking about the show. And you have to have proof of COVID vaccination or negative test taken within 72 hours. So it's Nick says he's going. So I guess if you missed it, you didn't get to see 365's shindig, then, this is another one. So there's that.
Another one.
Yeah.
There's another one.
It's cool. It's definitely a cool event. I would really like to get Rodney in here to kind of tell me what
happened.
Because he just did the exact same thing. Of course, they had to do their screening at the Chanhassen Cinema, I think, and then they went over to Paisley Park, and then they had a Q&A at Paisley Park. So Stacy is guessing. Stacy says maybe guess number 2 is Kristen Scott Thomas. Oh, maybe.
No, I mean, that's a good idea. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. But they haven't divulged who the two special guests are going to be, which means they probably still don't have anybody locked down yet.
Right.
That's probably what that means. I don't know.
Mystery. No, we don't know, man. We don't know.
That's kind of like we do that too.
We're doing it right now.
All right, so let me share the next thing. I didn't have, for some reason, I'm having to share these screens one by one, but it's okay. So the next thing that we'll talk about is the fashion sweepstakes that's happening at, I guess it's at store.prince.com. If you go to store.prince.com, there's a lot of really cool information there about this fashion sweepstakes. If you have seen this Paris Saint-Germain capsule collection, it's like really expensively priced. That's not even grammatically correct.
Careful.
Yeah, I don't want to get too wound up, but it's
some stuff.
It's expensive, but
Yeah,
it's for true fans. This is really true fan stuff here. And it is it's you basically get that 12-inch, not 12 inch, it's a 7-inch purple disc there. You also get that jacket. You also get, I think there's some sweatpants and some shirts. I was trying to click on this thing, but apparently because I entered the contest, it's not letting me see the details screen now. So essentially everything you see there, you can actually get. So if you go to store.prince.com, it's on one of the rotating banners. You can get the fashion sweepstake things that's happening there, but that's pretty cool. I mean, there's multiple pieces there.
And like you said, it's not that it's expensive. I mean, it's some pricey stuff, but it is for fans. So, I mean, you can't necessarily put a price tag on something when you're a real fan and you want it. So,
yeah, exactly.
It will fit some people, but if your price is your first thought, you might struggle with a few things.
Right, exactly. That's that's the mix. I see some people here in the chat room talking about the Purple Rain wine. And for those who don't know, the Purple Rain wine that was made by, I guess it's made by something, I can't remember what it is. It's some winery that's relatively, I guess they're located in Minnesota, but that Purple Rain wine that you see all over at like Walmart and everything else, they apparently have been told to cease and desist by the estate. So now, and you guys just reminded me of that news, but yeah, so they got a cease and desist on that Purple Rain wine, and it's all over the place, which is actually, I heard it's a pretty good wine. I have not tried it, but they're probably got the cease and desist, and they're not supposed to be selling that wine anymore. So there's that.
Cammy says it's a very sweet wine.
So it's like a port wine, which is, I'm not really a big fan of that. I just think it's just too much. It just seems like it's too much. Anyways, Do Me Baby, the demo, they actually had a cassette version of this, but they are releasing now the 7-inch vinyl of this early release of a demo that Prince had done with Do Me Baby, which is almost like, it's not double time, but it's fast. It's like a medium paced song. It's not like the slow groove that we all know Do Me Baby as. It's a
completely different feeling.
Yeah, it's a completely different vibe. I would highly suggest checking it out. You can check it out on YouTube, youtube.com/Prince, I guess. Or you can also check out, you can find it. It's really simple to find, or you can go to Spotify and listen there. But they are right now currently making this demo available on 7-inch purple vinyl, and you can pick that up, and it commemorates the 40th anniversary of his 1981 album Controversy. So that's very, very cool. Also coming up that I don't have a picture of, but on November 12th, they're re-releasing the purple vinyl of Purple Rain. So I guess they're trying that again. I thought, didn't they already do that like once or twice already?
I think, well, I don't know twice, but once for sure.
Yeah, so I guess it was out of print and it ran out. So if you wanted one and you could not find it, it's coming. It's coming again. Yep, it's that'd be pretty awesome, I think. I mean, if you don't have it, I think I have. I have, like, you know what? I just realized I was going through my vinyl over here, and I was putting them in, or I was organizing them. I have 3 copies of Ice Cream Castle.
Ah, nice.
I did not realize that. I had 2 of them, and then I have the vinyl that is the Neapolitan color, so it's like white, pink, and it's chocolate. That's just awesome. When I saw it, I was like, I think I have.
Can I call dibs, or am I not allowed to do that?
Are you taking death things on me too now?
Not allowed.
Are you like
no, not
me on this?
Not yet. I'm waiting something big.
All right. Well, death is pretty big. That's a big one. For sure. Yeah. So for those
Yeah.
who don't know the inside joke, Rodney Fitzgerald of Prince 365, he has got it where if I die before he dies, he wants my ticket stub from the final Prince concert at the Fox Theater. I was at both shows, at the 7 o'clock show and the 10 p.m. show, and I have the ticket stubs, and I have them all in this really nice shadow box on my wall. And Rodney wants it bad. He wants that ticket stub from that final show, and he says, if you die, I got to have it. And I said, what do I get if you die first? And he said if he dies first, he would give me an original pressing of the Black Album
Right.
that he has. I was like,
I mean, he might disappear,
yeah, I'd have to see it in writing, for sure.
I need to be sure you're going to make a promise like that. That's a big one.
And speaking of really expensive things, I wanted to share this one last thing before I go and before I do a special announcement here. I want to share this one more screen here to talk about this little gem that maybe you've seen. It's this Purple Rain fine art collectible. I don't know if you guys have looked at this at all, but what it is well, it's die cast, basically what it is. It says let me read the details. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's better for me to share this screen. No, it's all right. I'll just read this. The Prince Estate has partnered with Premium Collectibles Studio, the leading collector. No, it's got a bunch of photos. I need to share this screen. Hold on a second. Let me back out of this one and show you this, because you've got to see this. This is just ridiculous. If you haven't seen it, and I'm sorry if you're on audio, I don't know what to tell you, but I need to share this. This is insane.
Yeah, just go to YouTube later and look us up, check out the show, and you'll be able to see all that you missed visually.
Yeah. Okay. So here it is. And it says they create this fine art collectibles, and it's a limited edition. And it's got Prince iconic look from his groundbreaking 1984 film Purple Rain. It is rendered in exquisite detail in this stunning creation from the company. And the model measures 10.5 inches tall, 17.5 inches wide. That's pretty big.
That's huge.
And features a fully sculpted figure of Prince dressed in his iconic purple trench coat. No detail has been overlooked, and I assume that it doesn't say what it's made from. Made of. Is it? It just says it's a sculpture. Is it plastic? Is it bronze?
I'm sure it's not plastic. I mean,
I don't know, but it doesn't say what it's made of.
Yeah,
I just realized that it doesn't say that.
Doesn't it say diecast somewhere? No.
No,
It's Hot Wheels.
It doesn't say any of that. It doesn't say what it's made of.
No, it actually doesn't.
And if you notice the price, $790 for this thing.
I mean, it better be made of something.
Look at the details on this thing, but it's like ridiculous. It's just
That's amazing.
I mean, it's really cool. I mean, I bet that's leather. That looks leather.
Right. That's
just insane. I mean, the amount of detail that has gone. The lace gloves. Are you serious right now?
Does the bike start? Oh my gosh.
There's lace gloves on this thing. Are you serious? This is just ridiculous. And then, of course, it's got all kinds of stuff. I mean, this is unbelievable. I'm surprised it doesn't. If you're expecting somebody to spend $790, how many? I got to know. I got to know what it's made of.
Yeah. All right. So who's getting it? Who in our of our listeners?
Has anybody here ordered this thing? Because I know we got some deep pockets in here. I know there's some people that are just like, screw that, I'm getting it.
I'm getting one.
I'm getting one today.
I'm getting it now.
Anyways, 700 and
click sold.
Jill says that Mei Ling got it.
Mei Ling got one? Or
Mei Ling? Okay, you got to. It's a pre-order, so we'll just see. Yeah, it's
wow. Okay.
Oh my god.
And again, I don't think there's I just don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you want it, get it. I mean, who cares if somebody thinks that's ridiculous? It's for you, and that's all to it. Plus, you do have bragging rights when somebody shows up and you go, aha, and they go, okay. And if they're not a Prince fan, they still go, okay. It's the same reaction no matter what.
Well, if they're not a Prince fan, you do not divulge how much you paid for it, for sure.
No, you won't.
You just say,
might.
Isn't this cool? Isn't this cool? So how much was it? I don't want to discuss that right now.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. I'd have to kill you.
All right, I got one more item of news, and then I'm going to bring in the lovely Tamar. So, Tamar, if you're listening, I'm going to make this one quick announcement here, and then I'm going to bring you on for that special announcement.
Let me get my firms ready.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
All right.
And this is actually very, very interesting because, and I'm going to share my screen again for this piece of news that came through that I posted yesterday. And everybody got on, which is great. I mean, I want people to hear this for sure. First steps made in Congress to honor the pop superstar Prince. And again, the Minnesota's congressional delegation on Monday is introducing a resolution to posthumously award the gold medal, the congressional gold medal to pop superstar Prince, citing his indelible mark on Minnesota and American culture. So apparently they are going to be giving him this huge congressional gold medal award, which very, very few people, this is the list that they show of people who have won it. George Washington, the Wright brothers, Rosa Parks, Mother Teresa, the Navajo Code Talkers, and the Tuskegee Airmen, and the Dalai Lama. Listen, I'm a huge Prince fan. Okay, you could see, he is unbelievable. There, in my mind, there is probably nobody better that has ever done it musically. I can't think of anybody that was as talented and gifted in writing and creating music. But I really would like for him to win this award. But when I look at the list of people who have won this award, I'm like, does the Prince measure up there with Dalai Lama?
I mean, all right. So let's think about this.
The Airmen, Rosa Parks, the Wright brothers, the men who created aviation, Mother Teresa.
I mean.
Right.
I mean, the Wright brothers, he's made people feel like they could fly.
I would love for him
he's
to
fought
win
for a race. He
has a problem.
All I can say,
Washington. He does have a problem with George Washington because of the fact that you heard Prince talk many a times that there were like what he says 4 or 5 presidents before George Washington, and he thinks it's a big hoax for the United States, and so that's like a big thing of his. Yeah, I get it, but no. Have any musicians won this award?
I don't think so. Not that I know.
No.
He's done a lot, and we don't all know all the things he's done as far as helping people and giving, but that's pretty steep.
Yeah, that's like
award.
I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am. Let me go ahead and stop sharing the screen. I am all about it. I completely am all about it. I want him to win. Arlene is saying a bunch of others have won too. I think probably Associated Press was probably trying to throw some perspective in there. So
how big it is, why Prince? I mean, why would they?
I mean, I'm all about it. And I would have to read exactly what the qualifications are to win that. But, anyways, so that is in the running, and that would be very, very cool to see him win that for sure.
I feel like with all that he's done, he deserves as many awards as there are that people can give to show how much he's done. So, yeah, I mean, that's it. And it's in his category still. He's done a lot. He's turned a lot around for many states, especially Minneapolis. He's changed the scope of music. So,
all right. So before we get into our show about Prince's powerful lyrics, we really wanted to kind of scour through and talk about some of the most powerful lyrics, because as much as we try to get as comprehensive as possible, there's just no way. I mean, the man has thousands of songs, and it's literally impossible to kind of do a deep dive. But I think, Jeff and I really kind of went all in, and, we went all in to try to make sure that we found some really, really cool ones to talk about tonight. But before I did that, I wanted to make a very, very special announcement about an upcoming event. And I have a special guest that is going to be joining us here. And I want to wait for her to turn her camera on so we can actually see her and bring her into the mix. All right, you guys ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful, the talented, the one, the only, Tamar's in the house.
Hey,
We got to
hey
make you.
guys.
Hey, how you doing there?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing
Awesome.
great now. Doing great. How are you,
Cool.
dear? I know you're just. I already asked that
good.
question. I feel like I need twice the answer whenever I have you here. So Tamar and I are good friends off the clock here when we're not talking about Prince stuff. And Tamar is going to be in town doing a very, very special event with her Siren group, and we're going to be talking about I don't. You want to preface it with that because this is kind of a separate thing, kind of. But I wanted to kind of give them a little bit of an idea of why you're in town, to kind of you can share that information, and then we can talk about this secondary event that we're going to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in town. I'm so glad to be on here. Sorry, I have no energy because it's been a long day and travels tomorrow, but I'll be there next week for with Stuart Copeland, one of the legends of all legends. People are like, who is that? I'm like, Sting, The Police, any of those big 80s tunes. So anyways, we're performing with the Atlanta Symphony next week, and we go to Buffalo and Atlanta, LA, and Milwaukee to close out the year. And I'll be there. And so I'm doing some other things with some educational institutions that I can't talk about right now. And then you and I are doing a cool pop-up meet and greet, sip wine, paint, DJ, all that stuff at the same time.
Yep. So we're going to give you the information and the details right now for those of you who are in Atlanta or within driving distance of Atlanta. We're doing a very, very cool event. And I hope that I want Funkatopians to show out for this for sure. It's going to be Thursday, November 11th. I want you to write the date down. Thursday, November 11th. We've already kind of posted little hints about it on Facebook, but I will make sure that you guys have the opportunity. Basically, what it is we are taking over this place called Painting with a Twist. And you can write that down. It's called Painting with a Twist. It's in Lawrenceville, Georgia, which is in Gwinnett County, close to where her events are that she's going to be doing. But it's called Painting with a Twist in Lawrenceville, Georgia. And we are going to be taking over this location, and we are going to be getting together, and we're going to be painting. Did you pick out the painting, which one you wanted, or decide
No,
on it?
I'm so behind.
That's all right. So she's gonna pick out a painting.
You get it. It's all good.
We're all going to paint. We're all going to get together, and we're going to hang out. We're going to drink together. There's going to be hors d'oeuvres there. And yours truly, Mr. Christopher, and Jeff Page, and Rob Rhythm, all three of us. Rob is flying in from Arizona. All three of the Funkatopia live crew is going to be right there. We are going to be there at Painting with a Twist. I'm going to be DJing. We're going to be doing all kinds of music. We're going to be playing some of Tamar's music. We are going to be doing we're going to be playing all kinds of Prince stuff. We're going to be playing all kinds of jams. We're going to be playing a lot of stuff. We're all going to be painting.
And if anyone who purchased this already, I can bring them with me, and you can personally get it from me. If not, I'm going to try to see if one person can win one of the vinyls of My Name is Ashley.
Nice. Yeah, so we're going to be playing that album for show. We're going to be playing that album, and we're going to be just hanging out, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m., so 6 to 9. So we're going to be painting and hanging out from 6 to 8, and then we are going to then hang out again. We're going to be drinking together. We're going to be
Painting with a twist.
And on top of that, you get to keep the painting. You get to keep the painting for yourself. So once you're done painting it, you get to take it home with you. So you have a collectible. And if you've bought the vinyl or if you have the CD of Ashes, you can bring it, and Tamar will sign it for you. We're going to hang out. She's going to be walking around and having a good time. Everybody's going to be there. You guys have to be there. It's November 11th. And that is at Painting with a Twist in Lawrenceville, Georgia.
Tickets are $45, but that includes everything. So you get to hang out with Tamar. You get to hang out. You get to paint. That includes your
us.
painting instructor. You have a professional painting instructor that's going to be teaching you how to paint. And we are going to be, and the Funkatopia live crew is going to be there. Not just me, but all three of us are going to be there. We're going to be DJing. We're going to be pumping music. We're going to be hanging out. you guys are going to get drink tickets. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. Tonight, you can actually order the tickets tonight and it's limited seating too. So I don't know what we're capping it out at, but they got to limit how many people can go. So you need to make sure that you get these tickets because it's going to be a lot of fun. But tonight you can get $5 off. If you want to go, you can get it for $40. It will include everything that will be through Venmo. Just do it to Funkatopia. Venmo is at Funkatopia, Funkatopia, and the Cash App is $Funkatopia, Funkatopia. But tickets are still, you can get them for $5 off. But if you want a Venmo or Cash App to lock yourself in, make sure your name is on it. You will get locked in, and we will get you taken care of. And that way we can make sure you get guaranteed a seat. And then you can also go to Tamar's website at ashleytamar.com/merch. Actually, I think it forwards to tamardavis.com, but I think it forwards to tamardavis.com/merch, MERCH, and you can see the link there too. But if you want to get $5 off tonight, you can do it. You can just go to Cash App again, which is $Funkatopia, Funkatopia, or Venmo at Funkatopia, and you can get that.
Get your tickets now.
You got to get the tickets. I'm telling you, it's going to be so much friggin' fun. We are going to be turning up. The entire Funkatopia live crew. Tamar is going to be there hanging out with everybody. We're going to be jamming on music. We're going to be painting. We're going to be drinking, eating. I mean, come on. Are you serious right now? It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so much fun. So,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
We're gonna rock it out. If you guys get your tickets tonight, make sure you post it so we can see it. So we know some of you guys are going. We want to hear it. We want to hear who's going. So let us know.
Sure, we give you guys some shout outs for sure.
We'll celebrate you
during the show and make sure that's all taken care of. But if you don't have it, you get paid on Friday or whatever, and you want to go, but you can't go, that's fine. It's tamardavis.com/merch. Just go there and you can get the tickets. But if you can do it tonight, you get $5 off on Venmo and Cash App, both at Funkatopia, which is just Funkatopia. You'll get $5 off. It's going to be amazing. So much fun. So
You can do it.
any news to share before you head out? I know you just wanted to stop in and be present for the announcement, but what you got going on right now?
No, that's it. Just I'm just out of it right now. But yeah, just working on some projects that'll come out in December that I can't talk about right now. But yeah, just just preparing to travel.
I'm excited about those news too. And we'll just have to. I'll let her do it. I don't want her to be on my bad side. She knows where I live. I can't do it.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I look forward to seeing more Funkatopians and purple people there, and looking forward to seeing y'all next week.
Yeah, you guys better be there. I'm telling you, buy the tickets. I will let you. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome and amazing. But and tonight, I will give away 2 tickets tonight. I will give away 2 tickets as part of Funkatopia. We will do. So we're gonna have 2 people. I will pay for it out of my pocket. I will give away 2 tickets to people who will make sure that they can come to this event. And I want you guys to. Yeah, maybe it might be a scenario where you buy the tickets and I simply just refund your money. How about that? That may actually happen. So let's see.
That may happen.
That may actually happen. So I don't want you guys to hold out and think, oh, I'll wait and see if I win first. No, that may be
buy
how
the ticket first. That's right.
That may not be how it works. I may just turn around and refund that money back. So let's just see. Tamar.
Good to see you guys.
It's so good to see you. It's always good to see you.
My energy will be better next week, I promise. Just got to get through the travels.
Yeah, we'll make sure you get rested up and get a couple drinks in you, and we'll be good. Yeah.
Couple smoothies.
I dare.
A couple smoothies, spirulina.
That's right.
Ginkgo biloba.
That's right. That's exactly.
Ginkgo biloba.
Yeah. All right, get some rest. Get some rest.
All
Yeah.
right, guys.
Do it. Thank you.
Bye,
Night.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So you heard it here. We are going to be doing this massive event November 11th, and it's going to be so much friggin' fun. I mean, you got to see. I should upload pictures of this place, but it's so much fun. But there's going to be these long tables, and we've got screens up, and we're going to be playing music. I'm going to be DJing music through all the rooms. Everybody's going to be there painting. You're going to be being taught professionally how to do the strokes,
awesome.
how to actually paint the stuff. You get to keep the painting. You get to you're going to get a couple drink tickets for the night. You're going to be able to drink. I think I don't know what all's going to be served. They're going to have hors d'oeuvres there. Plus, on top of that, Tamar is going to be there, walking from table to table, refilling your drinks, doing all kinds of stuff. She's going to be hanging out, signing whatever you want her to sign. You get to hang out with the entire Funkatopia Live crew. All three of us are all going to be there, and it's just going to be friggin' amazing. It's going to be so much fun, and I am making sure that the laptop that I bring to DJ is going to have some deep cuts. Y'all deep cuts. We're talking about these are type of cuts that leave scars, my friend.
Man, you're gonna be so cut.
I was
You're
saying,
gonna have pieces laying around the room.
that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, what's really cool is that Rob, which what happened to Rob? Why? I don't know. He said I thought he was going to be on the show. Maybe he just decided he is getting on a plane. And he's flying in from Arizona, and he's coming. Well, not just for this, but he's coming. He's going to come to the Stuart Copeland show with us. We're going to see Stuart Copeland and Tamar there, and we're going to be hanging out with them. And then we're going. Then we'll be doing this event. Actually, we're going to be doing a show on November 9th here in the studio, all three of us here in the studio. And then on November 11th, we're doing that massive event with Tamar at Painting with a Twist. And it's going to be insane. It's going to be so friggin' amazing. Elisa said, where? I don't know which one you're referring to. Referring to the Stuart Copeland show. The Stuart Copeland show is going to be done at, what is the location of that one? That's not the, I can't remember the location of that one, but Stuart Copeland is going to be in town in Atlanta at one of the venues, and Tamar is going to be one of the singers. Stuart Copeland he's the drummer for the Police, and he's got 3 female singers, and Tamar is one of them that are going to be doing Sting's parts, and he's doing it with the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra. They're doing this big thing, so we're going to be doing that, and then we're all just going to be, it's just going to be,
it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
So yeah,
Andre, you got to know, for this one, purchase necessary. So you can't purchase necessary to win. That's the
So if you purchase
there's no
your tickets tonight for the Painting with a Twist, not Paint and Sip, this is Painting with a Twist. It's different. It's funny. It's like 6 doors down from this place. There's another painting place that's right on the street. It's like that's not the same one. So we'll make sure that everybody has the right address. But if you purchase tickets tonight via Venmo, which is at Funkatopia, or the Cash App $Funkatopia, if you purchase it, I will, depending on what happens here, I will probably turn around and reverse the charges, but you'll still get admission. I will pick up your ticket so that you guys can go. And so we'll, not everybody, I'm just saying, just a couple out of the people that buy their tickets tonight. And we'll see, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a blast.
I love it.
And
I love it.
the tickets are $40 for the tickets are $40. All you got, and there's nothing really specific. You just got to, I'll know what it is when you at Venmo $40 over to Funkatopia. I'll know what it is. I'll get your name down. Your seat will locked in, and I may just, again, reverse your seats. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a blast. But that $40 gets you, I mean, what a heck of a date night. You get to, for $40, you get painting class, you get a painting class with a professional art
teacher, an instructor
that's going to teach you how to paint whatever it is you're going to paint. And then you get to take that painting home with you. Plus, on top of that, you get drinks. Plus, on top of that, you get hors d'oeuvres. Plus, on top of that, you get the Funkatopia Live crew DJing the entire night. Plus, on top of that, you also get Tamar walking around, autographing stuff and hanging out with. I mean, it's a freaking It's amazing.
You're gonna paint up on the downstroke. If you're a funk fan, who doesn't want that?
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a blast. And
It's gonna be a blast.
So when we have the paint night, if we can, people want to know if I will come on. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe we'll show some of the.
Yeah, because there's a lot going on that night. There's a lot going on that night, especially with all of us happening there with all the painting and eating and drinking. And it may not be. We'll see. We are taking it as it comes.
Maybe depending on the art that comes out, maybe one of the shows will feature some people and show off some of your crazy art.
Jill, yeah, absolutely. Jill, please come out. That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. If you guys decide to do it, please do come out. It'll be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot. Rob is doing it. Rob is getting on a plane and coming out here. Well, he's doing it for both things, all three things.
He's on the other side of the country.
He's on the other side of the world and he's coming out. So
the world.
Yeah. No, Andre, we will not be naked. Sorry. That's not part of what's happening here.
That's the after party.
I think I need to send Rob a text message and find out.
Make sure he's okay.
Yeah, I was just like, let's see. Thought you were coming on the show? Question mark. All right, we'll see if we give you a response. Surprise.
Maybe he's in the chat. He's pulling a Martin Kemper.
Let me in. Where do I go?
Where do I go?
Who else did that? That was
I love him. He's great.
We had another guest that did that too. Who else was on? That was just Greg Boyer.
Greg Boyer did that. I'm here.
I'm here in the chat room. We don't need you.
Hi guys.
Need you here?
I mean, you know what? That should be our thing. That's kind of like you walk into the crowd first, and then you come up on stage. So we'll just go to the chat room first, and then pop in.
P-Funk says we can paint the love sexy, and that's the other thing too. If you don't want to paint what they're painting, you can paint whatever you want to paint.
Right. Of course.
I've gone to these painting classes before where you don't have to paint what they paint. Because I think one time my wife and I went and we took the girls and they did some black dress on a red background. I was like, I'm not painting that. And so I painted this whole sunset scene and like did this Bob Rossi type of painting. It looked nothing.
Did you talk like him too?
Yeah. I'm going to be painting the sun now.
Yeah.
It's only happy.
Then we're going to get the trees. Let's get the trees.
Happy trees. There may be birds that live in there. Let's see.
So can somebody paint me Around the World in a Day cover? That's what I want. Someone paint that.
Oh yeah. God, let's try it. Let's do it. We're going to be there. Maybe we do.
You know what? Let's make it a group effort. We come together and try to paint Around the World in a Day.
Okay, let's do it. Or do something that's maybe we have a shot at doing. Maybe we might be able to. I know we could probably pull it off. We can pull it off. Sure. So, I mean, let's just do it. Elisa just cash apped 2 tickets. And let's see here.
Awesome.
So Elisa just purchased 2 tickets. She just purchased 2 tickets. And Elisa, I'm reversing that ticket. So Elisa, you just got your tickets for free. Elisa, I'll make sure that you make sure that you text me. And inside my head, I was thinking the first person that does it, I was going to do it. But I see a couple things going on, so it's all good. It's all good. So, Elisa, I am covering your tickets. So I hope that you are. I'm covering your tickets, Elisa. But you got to come. Don't not come.
Yeah, show.
That's a double negative, but don't not come.
Stacy said she can paint the Black Album.
Yeah, that's about what I can do too. Yeah, the same thing. I
just can't seem to get it black enough.
That's right. Well, you got to do that little imprint on the bottom. Okay, so yeah, Rob says he's got some other things going on, so it's all good. But he's okay. He's fine. All right,
fine.
Let's go into the show, shall we? Let's do
Showtime.
Showtime. We
need an echo. Wait, I need a reverb effect. Showtime, time.
I don't know if I have one or not. See, now if I had that new board, I'd be able to do it.
Let's see. Hold up. Wait.
Yeah, let's go. Jeff's going to try to do some fancy.
Showtime.
But that's kind of like a sewer tunnel effect. At least it was an effect. It was nothing
At
like
least it wasn't.
it was nothing like
It was a painful effect.
Okay, so yes, so Elisa, we'll take care of you. Elisa, absolutely. Make sure I will make sure that you get taken care of.
It's great that she did it, though. That's awesome.
That's awesome. We got taken care of. Your 2 tickets are on us, but please make sure that if you guys want to get tickets, again, it's Venmo is at Funkatopia, Funkatopia, and the Cash App is $ Funkatopia, which is Funkatopia. So you can do Cash App or Venmo, Cash App or Venmo, and we'll take care of it. That'd be pretty awesome. Yes, let me make sure I'm making all kinds of notes here. All right, so tonight we are going to be talking about which is actually the whole point of tonight's show, talking about Prince's powerful lyrics. We've picked out a handful of them, and we talked about all kinds of different things here. We've talked about, there's a little bit of conspiracy theories. There's a little bit of self-help. We've got
Self-help, there's
reflection,
politics, of course.
Politics, social injustice, love and sex.
Favorite topic, love and sex, yeah.
All that stuff. But
And also,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Not all the and some of the lyrics, they're not necessarily complex lyrics like when we had the WTF kind of lyrics. Some of them are just very basic, but something about what he's saying is super powerful. And I like to keep it, and I kept it kind of simple with that. I was like, that to me moved me more than anything else, especially when it came out, that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there is so much that we could have talked about, and we will do another lyrics show, just so you know. We will be doing another lyrics show that's going to be funny lyrics, his most hilarious lyrics, because if he has so many things that he says that are hilarious, that are just so funny, a little bit in tongue-in-cheek type of things that are just a riot, and we could definitely do a whole show around that, and we will. But tonight we're talking about thought-provoking lyrics, political, social, just lyrics you've always wondered about, and we'll focus on that funny stuff later. So what should we start off with? There's like so many different topics. I guess should we leave it up to the audience to decide which way they want to go?
We can let somebody start right in if we want them.
Yeah. So one of the things that we had, I think I saw you wrote one down for 1999. You want to go ahead and read that one?
Yeah, actually, let's do that, because that's just a perfect example of what we're talking about. 1999. The line is, "Life is just a party, and parties weren't meant to last." And as great as that is in the song overall, and you're hearing it, when you really think about it, of course, what is he saying? We're not going to live forever. You're going to die at some point. It's an end. And at the age of when I first heard that, it was kind of like that rung. It just kept ringing in my head. Life is just a party, and parties weren't meant to last. Oh my gosh, So there's our starter.
And the thing about that lyric is that, I think we've just heard stuff so often, and you're going to hear that a lot tonight. There's so many lyrics that you've been singing along to that you've never really stopped and paid attention to what he was saying, and you're like, wait, what? Because even when I was doing the research on trying to document some of these lyrics, I was thinking to myself, that's what he says, or maybe I didn't pay attention. Like I was listening to the lyrics of the song Compassion, which we'll talk about, and like the whole entire song was like, what?
Right.
Because it's like dun dun dun, compassion dun dun dun. It's like it's so upbeat, and you're just like, yeah. And but if you stop and listen to the lyrics, it's like, oh my
right.
God.
What the heck?
Oh my God. And also, thank you, Chiaria, is that how you pronounce your name? Thank you so much. I absolutely positively want this too. If there's some lyrics that you felt that are super, super deep, you were like, oh my God, this is the best freaking lyric ever. Please share it. Chiaria in the song Don't Play Me, she says, I've been to the mountaintop and it ain't what you say. That's a great one. That's a really, really good one too. And I think a lot of people say that too. This is I don't know if that's really a reflection of, just the top in general, or maybe he's talking about monetary gain. You're just kind of like where you're at the top of the level. I guess you can you can reflect on that in a variety of different ways.
Right.
But
And he's made a few references in different records about being at the top, about the mountaintop and things like that.
absolutely.
So, yeah, that's from the Truth album, right?
Yes, it is.
Don't Play Me, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So somebody had mentioned that they wanted to talk a little bit about politics. Okay, we'll start with a politic one. Matter of fact, I have well, I actually have one little section in politics because there's a lot that he does talk about with fat cats and Wall Street and all that stuff. I mean, that's a little bit different. But I always found it interesting that Prince never voted. That was always weird to me, that somebody who was so concerned about the direction that a country was going, that he didn't even vote for Obama. He literally, I mean, because it wasn't, and I'm not saying anything by that. I'm just simply saying that it seemed like somebody who was really aligned with his political stance and his beliefs, he would have been like, okay, now that's somebody I can get behind. And he didn't even do that. I just thought that was really unusual. But one of the things I found interesting is that he has this line in Fix Your Life Up, which is off of the Third Eye Girl album. He says, don't make us put somebody else in for you. As if to say, if you don't vote, you've got no say. So I just thought that was interesting that he's kind of laid out that line. It's like, don't make us put somebody else in, because you decided not to move. But then in then in Dear Mr. Man, he says, listen, ain't no sense in voting. Same song with a different name. Obviously, it doesn't matter if it's Republican, doesn't matter if it's Democrat, Independent, doesn't matter. It's all the same garbage. It doesn't matter. They all have their own agendas, and it doesn't matter. It's, none of them is going to be aligned with whatever your beliefs are, or whatever is. And then he doubles down on that anti-vote sentiment with In Colonized Mind, which is an obvious one, where he says, upload the two-party system, the lesser of two dangers, illusion of choice, download their form of fascism. Nothing really ever changes. You never had a voice.
Right.
Yeah. And then, of course, strong. And then Morris Day, though, which I'm surprised that they weren't really aligned with Prince in that realm. But on the Time song, It's Your World, which is not written by Prince, by the way, because definitely this lyric would not have come out of Prince's pen, I imagine. But
total 360.
Yeah. The Time song, It's Your World, he's got this lyric: when leadership is lacking, guess who's to blame? You. If you don't vote, opportunity is elusive. Our trial is destiny. Only you can change it. The verdict is still out.
Right.
So, so there's a lot of interesting things on the political side of things, but I know he's made tons. There's tons of political songs that are out there. Ronnie Talked to Russia, and there's lots of different things, but kind of wanted to reflect a little bit more on, some of these angles that he had about just
and if
in general.
Anyone who gets a chance to go back, and if you haven't gone through the lyrics for Colonized Mind, that's really strong lyrics all the way through it. It's pretty deep.
Yeah,
really a deep one.
Arlene says, I think he voted when he was young. I seem to recall Andre Simone saying that Bernadette would remind them to vote. But I don't know if he ever really voted. I think he said in interviews that he's never voted. So, I mean, he was very, he was very specific. It was there was no dancing around it. It was just like, have you voted? No. Like, ever?
And it's very possible that he said, all right. Little Prince eye roll. All right.
Kiaria shared another one. She said, to whom, from the song To Whom May Concern, you must come to your senses. There are no kings on this earth, only princes.
Yes.
Yep. There you go. There's a lot of different things.
Of course,
go ahead.
One of my favorites, of course, from the early days. Gonna have to fight your own damn war because we don't want to fight no more.
Yep.
And then later on, he says, how you going to make me kill somebody I don't even know? I mean, that straight up, war and all that. To me, that was pretty strong then, too.
Yeah, I think there was, that was the whole shenanigans with Muhammad Ali and refusing to go to Vietnam.
The draft.
And with the draft and his whole, I guess, saying, look, I don't even know these people. You're wanting me to pick up a gun and shoot people shoot women and children and people that I just don't. I mean, obviously that wasn't in the job description, but that was what's happening over there.
Right.
But that they were going over there just killing all these people. Is like, I don't know any of these people. None of these people have ever done anything to me. And the only people who are my oppressors are you. You are my oppressors. You're the ones that are having, have problems with me. You're, if I'm going to fight anybody, it's going to be you. I'm not going to fight these people that I've never even seen. I don't know anybody over there. This is ridiculous. And I think
exactly
that really hit home with Prince a lot. And I think that kind of came out. That kind of came out in a lot of his music too. He's really very much anti-war, and we probably could have done a war category, but for whatever reason we didn't.
I know. Right.
I don't know why. Well, because we're kind of looking for lyrics that are a little bit more controversial, a little bit more. Not that all this other stuff is controversial, but
just like because of their half-baked mistakes, we get ice cream, no cake, all lies, no truth. Is it fair to kill the youth? Party up.
Yep.
Still,
Yeah, still.
But we can get deeper.
Did Morris write the lyrics to that song, or was that Prince? I know that Prince bought the song from Morris, bought "Party Up" from, and actually put together the time for Morris Day as payment for that song. But I can't remember if he wrote the lyrics or if Morris wrote the lyrics.
I don't know, but that's
probably was musically, and he probably had a lot of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Ernie was like, controversial, any lyric from Sister. Yeah, we're not really talking too much about like we talked about dirty lyrics and dirty things, and we did a whole episode on dirty stuff. We're not really.
It's definitely good for the controversial side if that was one of our categories, but I think we've hit that a lot.
Anastasia shared, Jehovah's Witnesses are not supposed to vote. It's one of their tenets. There you go. But even before, in the 80s, before when he was, pre Jehovah's Witness, it was totally different. Ernie put up this lyric, blessed are we inside this prayer, for in the new world we will be there. The only love there is the love we make. I was going to say, what song from that? It's the love we make.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a really, really good one.
Absolutely. That's in the category of religion, actually. I think I'd put that down there because that's kind of where it sits for me.
Yeah, and speaking of things that are kind of going on, we were talking about one of the songs, and I'll have to pull up the lyrics, but the song Dreamer, and we'll talk about specific lyrics in Dreamer for sure. But the whole song is really focused on I guess it's based on people who have dreams, leader who have dreams. It's kind of like that song, Cult of Personality by Living Colour. It's like when a leader speaks, that leader dies. Right. It's really focused on that. It's really focused on the fact that, the people who have taken our country into the next phase really had to sacrifice either their social lives or their lives in general in order to make sure that the message got through and got communicated to the world that this is wrong and you shouldn't do this. And, Dr. King was obviously one of those people. And in the song Dreamer, I mean, even all of the lyrics to Dreamer is friggin' amazing. But the lyrics are, I was born, raised on a slave plantation in the United States of the red, white, and blue. Never knew that I was different till Dr. King was on a balcony lying in a bloody pool.
Right.
That is insanely powerful. And that's not one that I have copied in our notes, but never knew that I was different. He thought everything was equal. Never knew that I was different until Dr. King was on a balcony lying in a bloody pool. I expected so much more from a loving society. A truthful explanation. I got another conspiracy. And if it was just a dream, listen, call me a dreamer too. And then he kind of goes into a lot of different things. We're still talking about race and everything, but one of the things I always found interesting, and the more I look into it, the more I absolutely believe it, was he also talks about chemtrails here. Everybody knows that Prince and Dick Gregory and who else was there? Was somebody else that was really, really big. I seem to recall somebody was in an interview saying that Prince and Dick Gregory and there was a couple of the people would literally get together and have these meetings at Paisley Park where they would talk insanely deep about a lot of different conspiracy theories. And the biggest conspiracy theories that Dick Gregory convinced Prince of was chemtrails. And for people who don't know what chemtrails are, I'm sure I'm only talking to about 5% of you, but
sure they do now.
yeah, you certainly know what chemtrails are, but I'm out of this audience, I'm sure I'm probably only talking about 5% of you. But for those 5%, chemtrails are basically what they do is they take these planes, kind of like crop dusting. They take these planes and they put these chemicals in the air to, they can either make you lethargic, they can make you angry, make you unmotivated. They can do like a lot of different things. That's the theory. The theory is that they wanted to make sure that they kind of kept African Americans and the Black communities, especially in downtown areas and projects and things like that, to kind of keep them not being productive. So what they would do is they would fly planes over these projects and they would release this,
Chemicals.
Yeah, just chemicals. And these chemicals would, get all over everything in the community. And they were just, either tired or they just didn't have any desire to really they were unmotivated. They just didn't, or they were angry or, it was like, and it's just a conspiracy.
It would just affect the masses. Yeah.
And while there's never been any hardcore evidence, I think I've told this story before, and I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, even though I'm already down one pretty deep.
We're going.
Here we go. We're going there. My parents owned a company that did home modifications and renovations for people with physical disabilities. So we would go in and we would install overhead lifts so the people in wheelchairs could be lifted out of their chairs and put into tubs, or maybe, put into their bed, and they can kind of transport themselves all over, their caregivers could take care of them, put in ramps, widen doorways so the wheelchairs could get through, whatever. Right. And I happened to be helping this one guy who I was kind of like the tech guy at my parents' company. So I would go in and I would install all these things that were voice activated to turn on lights. And this was really before Alexa or anything else. They were doing it through Bluetooth switches and little XR units on the X10 units. On the walls. And this guy that we went in to install for, I was the only one there. He was in a wheelchair and he worked for the government. And he told me that his team was responsible for doing those chemtrails.
Yep.
And I said, what now? And he goes, oh yeah. He goes, matter of fact, what time is it? And I was like, it's like 3:30. He goes, come outside. And I went outside and he goes, look up there. And sure enough, there were 3 trails of clouds that look like clouds. He goes, those aren't clouds. Clouds don't do that. He goes, every day at 3:30, you're going to see those over that part of the town over there. He goes, those are chemtrails. They're putting chemicals on things. They'll say it's insecticides. They'll say they're trying to control this, that, or the other. But what they're really trying to do is control people. And I was like, get the fuck out of here or whatever.
Right.
And he says, and he gave me like a couple of books to read and it was just like a couple websites to look at. He says, you need to look into this. It's a friggin' real thing. And, in this particular case, Dreamer, in the song Dreamer, Prince is talking about it here. He says, when a helicopter circles us, this theory is getting deep. Think they're spraying chemicals over the city while we sleep. And he also talked about it on Tavis Smiley, the long interview they did with him also. So chemtrails are absolutely positively a real thing, but until they lock it down, until they figure out exactly, who's doing it or why, or, we know the reasoning. I think it's
right.
It's absolutely, it's got
a control thing. It is
absolutely a control thing. It's got to be rooted in racism and it's just, they're just scared. They're just scared of everything.
I mean, if you're a conspiracy theorist or if you're a person who just studies things, you're going to hear and learn about the water and everything that's everywhere and everything put in stuff. And you look up at the sky and you see the planes go by and you see all those trails behind them. Just like they said, that shouldn't just sit there like that. All those kind of things. You just read up and you'll see all that stuff. And
so
people
watch
have to decide for themselves. But
Yeah, I mean, you watch that stuff. You can look every single time that you guys go outside and you see these really weird, strange cloud patterns. That ain't because the wind is being a little funky today.
right, right.
Yeah.
Well, just like the music being 440 hertz, where originally it was 432 and 437 and different frequencies, all of that. Everything's got something behind it in a story. So it's just a matter of, doing your research and what resonates. And some things are true and some things may not be, but there's plenty of information out there.
Well, and there's a lot of things that people use to control people a lot. We just turned this into a controversy show.
Hey, I trust no one.
We're talking about like things like binaural beats and tones and things like that, because Prince used a lot of that stuff. A lot of people don't realize that, but if you dissected Prince's music, you would hear a lot of different things like binaural tones and subliminal messages that are buried all through his music. If you put on like a really, really good friggin' pair of headphones that you can hear all the layers of stuff that's going on, there is some insane things that are going on. Certain tones are used in healing, and certain tones emit or create certain kinds of response.
Because it's a frequency, so it's vibrating.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a whole entire, I guess not organizations, but I guess there's like collective people that's all they do. You can go onto Spotify right now and search for binaural beats, BINAURAL, and there are literally tones. That's all it is. You start it and it'll be like, meh, and it's like that's all it is for like 45 minutes.
And go to sleep to that.
But there's something else that's going on in that subliminally that you don't know. First off, the tone itself, the exact tone, it can create emotional response, it can make you happy, it can make you sad, it can make you rest, it can make you pay attention, it can make you more alert. There are all those things that those different tones, they're called alpha tones and theta tones and beta. It's like all different types of tones that they use.
Beta, all of it.
Right. All that stuff that can create certain and emit certain responses. And they have this stuff on Spotify. And people who are very, very smart, like Prince, like the Grateful Dead, like Dave Matthews Band, all these the Beatles, all these bands experimented with binaural tones all through their music. And if they wanted you to feel happy a certain way, they would make sure they would use whatever that tone is, whatever. I don't know all the tones, but they would like an alpha tone or whatever it is. They would use that tone very, very lightly through that music. You ever hear like a lot of Prince's songs have that one keyboard riff that goes meh all through the song? It's like the song is going on and you can audibly hear it. It's like any of the Time songs. If you play Jungle Love or anything, it's like even during the chorus, they just have this chord, this meh through the song. That is a tone. That's a really, really specific tone that's designed to emit a specific response. You get engaged with it and you start. It's insane.
Yeah, it's the solfege frequencies, and even when I was with my band at one point, that's what the band name was, 432 hertz. We actually tuned all of our instruments to 432 as our frequency and wrote all of our songs using that frequency. And it turns out that my vocal, I actually sing at that frequency. So it was like, oh, this makes more sense. I could do this.
So what specific?
That's actually the frequency the Earth vibrates at. 528, I think it is. And then there's the universe frequency. If you were to listen to it, it vibrates at a very specific tone. So you got 432, 528, 963 or whatever. But look them up. You'll be amazed at what's going on in the universe. And everything has a tone, and that's what our body resonates to. So it's a real thing. It's just the question is how much people want to go into it. Because when you talk about music, some musicians will get upset because they think, you think if you listen at this frequency, you're going to feel better versus the regular 440. But they've already researched the resonance of what 440 does as far as what other frequencies do and why it was changed. History of why it was changed, I don't need to get into because, like you said, it's another rabbit hole. But you can do sound tests and see which things resonate properly and which things feel right or don't. So I mean, it's a research thing. I don't want.
It is. But it's
I don't want to sound like I'm a crazy guy, but
well, Arlene said
it
we should do
matters.
a show on it sometime. But the only problem with doing a show on it is that we would really have to really deep in put ourselves into
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, I mean, it would be so interesting to find out, and then kind of go through Prince's songs and find out which, what tone he was using, because I could pick out any of the time song, especially from Purple Rain on, when he was really getting into that stuff, and you can hear that those synthesizers are loud. They all do that, man. Like they all, it's so purposeful. It's so purposeful.
Yeah, and it's not just an issue of holding that key for the song. There's a tone, there's a reason that note, and we're hearing that. But it does affect you, and it does create a euphoria or whatever the mood is supposed to be. So,
yeah, I mean, and what's funny is that he also, I know that he also taught Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis how to do that too. And Jimmy and Terry brought it to, took it along with them. And I don't think Prince was really upset about that. He was more concerned that Jimmy and Terry would kind of do this, would kind of bastardize the Minneapolis sound. But even if you listen to things like here, I'll play, you'll immediately know what this is, but here's just a little piece of this.
This is a story about control. My control.
Those are all tones. I don't want to get kicked off by Facebook, but those are all tones, specific tones, all throughout the song that are. But really pay attention next time you get to hear, especially the Prince's songs in the '80s. When they were in that dance mode. Really pay attention to the synthesizers and the keyboards and how long they hold out. They'll hold out a note for the entire chorus. No changes or anything. It was pretty simple to play. It was just,
everything I listen to, I put at 432 as far as the frequency goes for all those tones and all those notes. So
absolutely.
I get it.
All right. So we kind of went down a rabbit hole. Sorry about that. But we were talking about the fact that he'd like to talk about conspiracy theories and some of the things that
we're coming back.
We're coming back. We're bringing it back around. So let's talk about, you had mentioned one with Cream. Let's talk about that.
Which one?
Cream.
Oh yeah. Cream. Oh, my favorites. So
put this into. Maybe I could put this into the banner.
That to me was we were talking about self-help. Those kind of lyrics, and Cream was one of them. You're so good, baby, ain't nobody better. So you should never ever go by the letter. You're so cool. Everything you do is success. You make the rules, then break them all because you are the best. And what got me is, you hear the lyrics and you think, oh, this is such a great song. Who's he singing to? And then that concert, that show that he did when he was by himself and he made a joke and he goes, and I sing this to myself in the mirror every day. And I thought, and I was like, duh, the whole song is a self-help affirmations song. And I was like, that is the most awesome thing ever. And so that mattered to me.
Yeah, that was actually very, that was a huge, because a lot of people are like, oh man, I think the song is about me. The song's about me. No, he's thinking about himself in Cream. That's right. That's an awesome catch. A lot of people don't realize this. He's not singing to anybody in specific. He's talking. He said, get in front of a mirror and sing this to yourself.
And it's so awesome. It's true.
And it's self-help is exactly what it is. It's you're so good, baby. There ain't nobody better. So you should never, ever go by the letter. You're so cool. Everything you do is success. You make the rules, then break them all because you are the best. And it has nothing to do with anybody other than himself. And I think that's amazing. Yeah. It's just, it's that self-help vibe.
Yeah, I loved it. I love that song.
This is when the self-help one, I had a couple. I had I had mentioned this last week. I'm not going to put this up for scroll, but it says in the song, another Third Eye Girl song, Ain't Turning Around, where it says, maybe the hand that you're looking for is at the end of your arm.
Right.
Which is so friggin' deep, because it's like, you keep on looking for somebody to bail you out when the person that should be bailing you out is you.
It's you.
You should be. And I didn't bring this up before, but something really, really impacted me. You familiar with the Orange is the New Black series on Netflix?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what the actress's name.
I couldn't tell your name.
I
knew it.
Girl with the crazy hair. And
Yeah.
I don't know what the actress's name is. Maybe somebody here in the comments can help me. But she's the one that's really crazy. I can't even remember the character's name. But she's plays a psychiatrist now on an HBO show, and she had somebody that is. She had somebody that was there that she was talking to. It was a white guy, and he was talking about. It was just I guess an episode that where he was telling her all of his problems and everything. And so it's this black woman that's giving advice to this white man, and you can immediately, and he's complaining about all of his problems and all the things that he's got going on, and you can see this unraveling that's happening. Like, are you shitting me right now? It's just, and it was such an amazing episode, because you could just see her starting to just like kind of click out, because she wasn't in like this, crazy convict mode like she was in that show. She was a professional psychiatrist. Right. And she was just like, the biggest problem that you have is you are the biggest problem.
Right.
You, especially as a white man, have absolutely friggin' no reason to be complaining or have issues with your life, because the only thing that is keeping you from being successful is you being able to overcome your laziness, be able to overcome whatever it is that you got going in your brain in order to turn shit on. For other people who have a much more difficult life, especially if you're a black man in the United States or you're anybody in the black community, it's like this extra hurdle that you have to go over. So it's like, but the whole point of that was being, and it's so true for everybody in their lives. It's like, get out of your head.
Right.
Help yourself. You are the one that's stopping you.
Right.
You are the one that's getting in your way of your success. You are the one that's getting out of the way of whatever it is. Is it the weight loss goal? Well, stop friggin' eating ice cream at 10 o'clock at night. Is it your friggin', what is it? What is it with you? And I go through it all the time. I'm not downing anybody for any of this stuff. I mean, because even my weight loss journey, I was like, why am I overweight? There's no reason. I mean, unless you have an actual medical reason for it. Some of the reasoning is that you have nothing. You have nothing to complain about.
And we may start in different places. Like not everyone has the same, what they call, well, quote unquote it, advantage, but we do control where you can go after that. So like you said, there may be more hurdles. There may be something a little bit different. There may be a propensity in your own personality, physically or whatever, that changes things. But you still have control of how far you can go with something, unless it's of an actual physical limitation that can't be achieved. But other than that, there is no limitation, because it's all inside of us. We all can bring it out. I mean, that's it. Do it. What do you want?
Some people are sharing the actress name is Uzo. I don't know if that's, I can't remember the first or last name, but and the name of
Uzo Aduba or Aduba.
And the show that I'm referring to is a episode called In Treatment, or it's a series called In Treatment. And I think it's on HBO. Look it up. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And she just uses so many of her. It's just such a fantastic show. Really, really good stuff.
I'll check it out.
Let me take a pause here, because I want to. This is freaking amazing. Jill Norman and Michelle L. Douglas just purchased and booked their flight to come to the shindig on Thursday, November 11th. Has so
Love
much
that.
for those of you
And book the flight.
yeah, for those of you who don't know, we are doing an amazing event November 11th, Thursday in Lawrenceville, Georgia, which is just like about 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. But we're doing this amazing event with Tamar. Tamar is going to be there. We're doing this huge painting class. We're going to be painting. We're going to be doing a painting class with a professional painter. We're going to be drinking. We're going to be eating hors d'oeuvres. And I'm going to be DJing along with the Funkatopia Live crew. So myself, Jeff Page, Rob Rhythm, we're all going to be there DJing a bunch of Prince music. And of course, Tamar's album. Tamar is going to be there doing autographs and hanging out the whole entire 3-hour window. It's going to be a friggin' blast. And
We're going to have a blast.
we only have this building from 6 to 9, from 6
Right.
p.m. to 9 p.m. But there are plenty of places that are open in walking distance from this. So we will probably just pick up and just head some other place too, and make the party.
Yeah, make sure you come out. Make sure you come out, but don't be late. Don't be late.
Don't
Because
just be
we will
late.
shut the door.
Yeah, absolutely, Jill. I already gave away the two tickets, but I will see if I can pull any strings for you. But I mean, I know it costs money to book a flight, but I already gave the 2 tickets away that I said I was going to give.
Well, it just so happens that Funkatopia is going to give away 2 more tickets. I'm going to take care of Jill's tickets.
Are you serious right now? What?
Just so happens. Jill is getting the hookup.
Oh my gosh, Jill's getting a hookup too. So I gave away 2 tickets. Now we don't just have free tickets to give away. We literally are.
No, we don't.
We are literally paying for these tickets out of our pocket. So I've got Elisa's tickets, her 2 tickets, and Jeff has just announced that he is going to get Jill and Michelle's tickets to the show. So there you
Gotcha,
go.
guys.
We gave away 4 tickets tonight. That's friggin' amazing. That's awesome.
Boom.
Yeah, and these tickets, once they're gone, they're going to be gone quick because there's limited seating here. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to turn up. Definitely, we're going to turn up. It's going to be a big party. It's going to be a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
wow.
So should we stay on the self-help? We got a couple more we can.
Yeah. Well, Andre keeps saying free tickets here. Did I win? Andre, I tell you what, Andre, if you can get on a plane and get down here, I will get you a ticket in there because you're all the way up in Canada.
Right.
I can't imagine that you would actually make it down here. So you show up at the door, I'll take care of you.
There you go. Boom. See now.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just leave it there.
It is a challenge.
It's a challenge. That's it right
It's a
there.
challenge. Show up.
Yes, staying in the self-help realm, we're talking about some of Prince's most powerful lyrics. I was reading the lyrics to Holy River, and I don't know. I was always kind of caught up in the chorus of the song, but one of the things I saw as I was going through the lyrics, I was like, did I know that this said this? Here are the lyrics to Holy River. And maybe I should copy and paste this in the back.
Why not?
Yeah, because it's really cool to friggin' read along to this one. If I can get it to save here. All right, let's read this. You surrounded yourself with all the wrong faces, spending your time in all the wrong places, putting your faith in things that only make you cry, and people say they love you when they want to help. That doesn't rhyme. But how can they when you can't help yourself? I'm reading the scroll. That's the reason why it's messing me all up. But how can they help when you can't help yourself? The more they say they love you, the more they just want to die. So here we go again. The self-analysis. I think I covered all our notes too. No, that's part of the lyrics too. Let me try to read these lyrics again. You surrounded yourself with all the wrong faces, spending your time in all the wrong places, putting your faith in things that only make you cry. People say they love you when they want to help, but how can they when you can't help yourself? The more they say they love you, the more you just want to die. So here we go again. The self-analysis. Have another glass of port and forget this. So basically, yeah, it's once again, it's about picking yourself up and doing it your damn self.
You do well. It's funny because it's not only pick yourself up and do it your damn self, but it's also this one is you're doing it to yourself. Like you're the one who's going to these things, and then you're upsetting yourself because you're doing that. It's like
Yeah.
you got to fix it.
It's
You're the reason you're unhappy is the point of that.
yeah, it's just so much. You had one in here too. Let me copy and
Yeah,
paste
yeah.
one so we can, hold on, let me-
The love we make.
yeah,
And
let me-
man, that song. There's a few times that song hits me in a different categories, but the main for this one, self-help, is happy is the way to meet your burdens, no matter how heavy or dark the day. Pity on those with no hope for tomorrow, and then the strongest part is, it's never as bad as it seems until we say. And I love that because I always say to people, like, there's nothing more powerful than the spoken word. As soon as you say it, as soon as you utter, oh, I'm such an whatever, you call yourself a name, or life, I can't stand my life, or whatever, you've done it. That's it. And, when he says that, I'll say it again. Happy is the way to meet your burdens, no matter how heavy or dark the day. Pity on those with no hope for tomorrow. It's never as bad as it seems until we say. That's strong to me. That
yeah.
I used to say that. So hearing it, reading it, learning it again.
Yeah, it's. I mean, those types of lyrics is really all about, and it continues to go down that path with, talking about how the power that you have as an individual, as a person, to be able to
Right.
claim things, to claim it from the universe,
Claim it. That's it.
you claim it and saying, and not only that, but only to make sure that you're communicating to yourself your self-worth.
Right.
Whenever, just like you saying, it's like when you start tearing yourself down, when you start taking pieces of yourself and being negative about yourself.
Well, being honest with yourself. That's really what it is. Once you're honest with yourself, that's when you can start improving.
Right.
Yeah. I'm happy because I don't mind that my life is like this. No, you're not really happy because it wouldn't be a topic if it was. You know what I mean? What was that lyric last week from the WTF? If something that, if you give it attention or something, it's in the wrong realm or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So,
But yeah, it's up to us.
Yep.
Anyone who reads any self-help, improvement books, study guides, or online whatever, first things they tell you is write it down. Second thing they tell you is say it, repeat it to yourself, make it a mantra, make it a whatever you have to. But that's how you get it in your system to start believing it. That's the only way it's going to manifest. When you pray, you have to pray with meaning and emotion. You can't just randomly say anything. Oh man, I'd love $1,000. Well, we all would. But if you're really in a situation and you put your heart and energy and put it out in the universe like you really mean it, you'd be surprised at where that will come from.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
yeah, everything.
Yeah, and it's always, I think, we talk about this a lot, that, well, actually, we don't talk about this a lot. We don't talk about it nearly as enough.
Not enough.
Nearly as enough. But, the evil one, or Satan, or however you want to perceive the dark side, however you want
Right.
to perceive it, is always going to be there saying, oh, even if you have exactly what you need, there's always going to be that dark side that's always going to be saying, but you could have this. Oh man, you could have so much more. You could have that. It's also trying to find that level of content and not being in that mode where you feel like you never reach that bar. You're never content with yourself. You're always feel like you're just kind of trying to get to the next level and get to the next level and get to the next level. It's like, maybe that's
Right.
not where you're supposed to be. Maybe all of your happiness is where you're at right now. And it's
Right.
just, and I think Prince has actually had a couple of
He does.
songs about that too. So
Yeah. Well, it's part of that looking at someone else or something else or doing it for someone else. Where are you?
right.
That's what happiness is. Once you start comparing and deciding that you need to be something different than who you are, well, you're not going to be happy. We have some of the greatest stars that you've loved that have taken their own lives because they weren't happy. because they weren't who they were. And I mean, we know there's medical conditions and other things as well, but
Yeah.
if you're not being who you are, you're already behind. You're already well behind. And so
Yeah,
there
you
it
see,
is.
see a lot of different people that get into those bouts of depressions. I mean, everybody. I mean, this
Absolutely.
is it just takes it. It takes
And we can call him Satan, you can call him the devil, you can call him Satan, you can call him whatever you want, but every prayer you make,
spooky
both
electric,
sides hear it.
spooky electric, whatever you want to call them.
Spooky electric, right? Everybody hears it. So, you've got to come from a real place inside. That's all. That's it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much life right there. People used to ask me, how am I always happy? Why am I never upset? And that's because I don't really worry about most things. Most things that happen in our lives, even when they hurt, are more petty, not necessarily as big as we make them. There are some things that you can't get past, like, family member, death, people close to us. Those kind of things will affect us. But even then, at some point, we have to grow and we have to continue forward as well. So, these lyrics, the self-help lyrics that Prince has, they're really about, no matter how bad it is or how bad you think it is prospectively, it's you. And we can turn it around ourselves. So surround yourselves with the right people, right? Bring people around that are going to feed you that energy. Like-minded. We'll be all right. We'll all be all right. Funkatopia family is going to be all right, for sure.
Oh, wait, we're gonna be fine.
Should I say for show?
For sure. Chiaria says Style ain't sitting courtside with the owner of the team. Style is owning the court and charging them all a fee. And Style is not,
Right.
Style is
I
not
love
lusting after someone because they're cool. Style is loving yourself till everyone else does too.
Boom.
That's it right there.
it.
Style is not lusting after someone because they're cool. Style is loving yourself till everyone else does too. Style is Maite in the shower.
And they will, too. Style is a bow tie and bunny slippers in the shower.
I love that song. Style is just like,
I do
Style
too.
is puppy breath. We're just random shit. Style is puppy breath. Why is it puppy breath?
Style is.
It's funny is that puppy breath does have that weird kind of. It's just you can smell it even without having a puppy anywhere nearby. It's just kind of like this spicy type of. I don't know. There's something going on with puppy breath. It's weird.
But you can't be mad at puppy breath. When you say dog breath, though, that's like baby poop. It's like, aw. But grown man poop? I don't know, man.
No, it's just
Style is turtle toes.
Bob, why'd you get out of the carpet? Julie says, you choose to be happy. I had to remind myself yesterday of this. Anything was falling apart. Thank you for the reminder. Yep, that's right. Choose
Absolutely.
to be happy. Choose. You got to make this. We are not talking about lyrics at all. I guess we are. We have been. We've been integrating stuff in here.
I found a long time ago that a lot of our perspective of what's good and bad is learned anyways. So,
Jade's come back.
Don't worry. Be happy.
That's right. That's right. Oh, and you want to talk about somebody who is completely and totally content with themselves. I mean, Bobby McFerrin and his son,
Right.
Taylor McFerrin. I mean, they are just like the most even-keeled, awesome
They're good.
people on the friggin' planet. They are so amazing. They're just great. They're just amazing human beings. You guys need to check on some of that stuff. And Jill did actually pay for her ticket through Cash App. Jill, I will be refunding you that because Jeff said
We got you.
Jeff said he's taking care of you, so you're all taken care of.
Absolutely, Joe.
So we gave away 2 tickets. Elisa got 2 tickets, and Jill, I'm doing your ticket, and also who else did you say was coming? She said somebody else was coming too. You can probably scroll up and find it, but yeah, you got 2 tickets, Jill. So we will see you there. It's going to be so much
Michelle
fun.
or something.
Yes. Good. Yeah. All right, let's get back to the lyrics. I had a couple reflection ones that I thought were interesting. The first one, when you talk about, being a little bit confused about who you are as a person and, not thinking about the choices that you're making in life. There was a line in Breakdown where he says, I used to throw the party every New Year's Eve. First one intoxicated, last one to leave.
Mm.
And of course, the lyric continues, waking up places that you never would believe. But it was just all talking about just reflecting on the decisions that you make and the impact that it has on not only your life, but other people's lives too, is the way that they perceive you. Because some of the decisions that you make, even if there are bad decisions and stupid decisions, and the only people that they affect are you, it still has a reflection. It's still a reflection of you
Absolutely.
on others people and people's I don't know. It's especially when if you're in a position where people are looking up to you and they want to emulate you in certain ways. I mean, I think that's kind of what really went wrong with. I don't want any hate mail when I say this, but I think that's kind of really what happened with hip hop and rap in general. Hip hop and rap are really kind of two different things. That people call them the same things, but they're not. But I think there's when you talk about and you do so much bragging and all this stuff about just money and drugs and cars and women and this, that, and the other, it's so short-sighted. I get it. That's the nature of the style of music, and that's what people like to hear about. And it's it has its own it has its own thing, and I love it. I mean. I love it. I love it. I love listening.
I love my hip hop. Like I
love
may not create hip hop.
I love listening to it. But on the same note, I think there's also a societal effect that it has. Some of the content has on it. It's like really kind of some of the thought processes, and it's just I don't know. It's a whole different thing.
It'll affect you. It'll affect you. And basically, like you said, what you're saying. So like, what you're doing and what you're saying. So yeah, I can see that hip hop has caused a lot of things to happen. Let's put it that way. And people say, you control you. Yeah, well, we know that's true. But if you keep repeating the same things over and over, it eventually becomes you. If you keep going to the same places, you become that person. It doesn't cleanse you. You become the things that you surround yourself by and the people that you surround yourself with. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but not just hip hop. Any style or genre is going to do that to you if you're in it and around it enough. Yeah, hip hop is,
The other lyric that I had for reflection was sometimes it snows in April. The song, those kind of cars don't pass you every day. I friggin' love that line.
Yeah,
that line is, and Prince was definitely that. Prince was, you'd never meet anybody. There will never be anybody that will ever compare to that again. And it's funny, we get all wrapped up in our Prince bubble thinking about, there'll never be another artist as great as Prince. There are tons of people out there who think the same exact thing for Michael Jackson, the same exact thing for Elvis Presley, say the same exact thing for Led Zeppelin. Say, there's so many bands that are out there that had so much impact that, but I think that's a great statement. Those kind of cars don't pass you every day.
And it actually gets me even more because he says just before that, I used to cry for Tracy because he was my only friend. And then those kind of cars don't pass you every day. You're just like, oh, man, And I think about it. I have a lot of associates, but true friends I can count on one hand. Like that I consider true friends. I mean, I consider some people close and all that. And I'll even consider people, I'll take my shirt off for you. I'll do what I can to help. But only a small handful that are in that category, of like true. Wow.
Oh, here's another great one. Stacy's put beautiful, loved, and blessed, who we just had Tamar on.
Yes.
She would have loved to see this lyric. Beautiful, loved, and blessed. I'm better than the day before because you made me confess that I am beautiful, loved, and blessed. When you're free, you're really free indeed. All you got to do is just plant the seed. I love that line. I'm better than the day before because you made me confess that I am. Brothers and sisters, we are doing church here tonight.
We are preaching.
Yeah, preaching, folks. Yeah.
We got some lyrics.
Where's my offering
Yeah,
plate?
that's
We got my offering plate. We got to pass it around.
right. That's powerful. I love that song. That's a good pick.
Yeah,
That's a self-help right there.
So we dipped back into because we still have some more to cover here. We had a lot to cover, didn't
Well,
we? Shit.
Yeah, well, it's all right.
Let's kind of go through some of these. You had one from Side of the Times. We were talking about Side of the Times.
Yeah,
On the
absolutely. Sign of the Times, again, that fit in the political side. And someone earlier in the comments made a reference to one of the lyrics, in Sign of the Times also. But mine was a sister killed her baby because she couldn't afford to feed it, yet we're sending people to the moon.
Yeah, and that whole entire song is full of those types of lyrics where it's just like I don't understand what exactly is going on with, and the fact that this was a top 10 hit is just shocking in general to me.
Right.
It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it goes to how we're so busy trying to go out and go do these other things and go out there and take care of people in other countries, and right here at home we talk so much about America and pride and America, but yet we're not taking care of ourselves or each other. We're so worried about other countries and other people and who's our enemy. We're not even making ourselves stronger, just as a whole. That's
yeah. I mean, we can actually go ahead, and this is a great segue into social injustice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'll let you read this one from Baltimore.
Oh yeah, I was all over that too. Yeah, at least a little better than the day in Baltimore. Does anybody hear us pray for Michael Brown or Freddie Gray? Peace is more than the absence of war. Absence of, are we gonna see another bloody day? We're tired of crying and people dying. Let's all take the guns away. And that's and of course, obviously, if anybody doesn't remember, about the story of what happened in Baltimore with Michael Brown, Freddie Gray, and all that. It's so.
And we could absolutely go down like some serious rabbit holes. We start talking about.
I don't want to go.
And we won't. We're not going to.
Yeah.
But if he would have been alive for some of the other stuff that happened in his own town,
right?
I just I can't even.
And I just like the way he snuck. He puts that in there. Instead of as peace is more than the absence of war, and then he says, absence of, are we gonna see another bloody day? That's what we want the absence of. Tired of crying and people dying. You know what I mean? That's like, wow to me. Just like, it's just a twisted way of saying it that is just stronger.
Absolutely. I totally
strong,
agree.
man. This was so strong.
You got lots of social injustice. So the other one that I had here was the lyrics to Mars, which is another Third Eye Girl song. Lost my job at Mickey D's for giving away too much food for free, but I couldn't watch another black child go to school with nothing to eat. This is really interesting about this next lyric, because it really kind of talks maybe a little bit about his life and about his childhood that I think we probably would have got more insight to had he been able to finish the book that he wrote. But one of the interesting things that he wrote in here next on these lyrics is, 7 of us then took to the streets, raised by the music, fed by the beat, seeing how long we could stay out of jail that's how we'd compete. We never owned the streets that we kept defending, so the money we got, we just end up spending with nothing to save and not a thing for lending. You're never really happy, just really good at pretending. Everybody in the world wants to be a star. Few got what it takes to make it that far. If a rocket ship didn't cost more than a car, a brother might move to Mars.
Wow.
That
pretty much sums up a lot of people's childhood.
Absolutely. I mean, some of those lyrics are so insane. I love that. We never own the street that we keep defending, so the money we got, we just end up spending with nothing to save and not a thing for lending.
Right.
I mean, one of my favorite all-time lyrics ever is this really short lyric by Black Thought, who is the rapper for The Roots, and has this amazing lyric in this song. I think it's off of Illadelph Half-Life. It says 50 cents away from a quarter. I'm like, that is so friggin' great. What a friggin' line. I'm 50 cents away from a quarter. There's so much said in that little teeny line. I was like, that has got to be one of the greatest friggin' lines ever. That's just
Man.
yeah. What a song. Yeah, somebody wanted me to look at the lyrics for 2045 Radical Man, and we absolutely positively want to put this up here. One of the things that I mean, there's some things that I get in here and some things I don't. How can a non-musician discuss the future of music from anything other than a consumer point of view? These few people make decisions for the bulk of us without consulting any of us. Sales and distributions of our futures. If this world were fair and right, they'd give up the car keys this very night. There's all kinds of different things about Final Judgment and talking about talking a lot about really more than anything. There's a lot of racial stuff in here, and he uses he drops the N-word like lots of times here. So I'm never that comfortable reading this entire lyric, but all of the lyrics in here are very there's a lot of messages in here, and it's very, very get an education, good job. Who says fool with the gold rush drinking Alizé? I don't play nobody that's make no sense today. You got your own mind, so you think it's okay. Telling themselves lies, most Jeff say. Where are you gonna stay? Oh my God, it's the Green Mile. There's like so many different, I mean, there's little tweaks and words that he says in here that only he understands. But there's a lot of
so many. There's just so many hip hop or past or other songs that were powerful like that people are forgetting, or them, but you never realized how powerful they really were and what they were really saying. Like Grandmaster Flash. Like, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Remember that? It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how it.
But that was a legendary song because that one came out. That was like the early beginning of hip hop in New York. I was living in Jersey at the time, and I remember when that song came out because it was just like all of a sudden everything that you wanted, that was wanting to be said about the streets, was right there
in your face.
It was just like, oh my God, this holy crap.
Right. Paid in Full, Eric B. and Rakim.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff. It's like, that's deep. Wow. And that's real. Every bit of it is like that. There it is. You just summed up my life.
Edge. Oh man, what a great freaking song. Okay, let's just make sure we didn't.
All right.
All right.
I don't want to keep going down there.
Compassion. You had lyrics for Compassion.
Again, Compassion is another one of those. It's not specifically pulling any particular situations, but the lyric for Compassion that moved me is, when ego, fear, and judgment become the rules of law, watch the polar ice caps heat up, melt down, and thaw. And I was like, what? Like, dude. And then a little bit later he says, whatever skin you're in, it's important for us to all be friends. And I'm just like, see, and that's it. Like,
yeah,
boom,
absolutely,
come together. It's done. Stop all this.
Yeah, but the problem is that people just can't stop it for whatever reason. They can't stop doing this ridiculousness.
Well, we're not trained to. That's the only way I can put it.
Yeah,
there's very little of the things that influence us that are geared towards helping us. There's some things, of course, plenty, but that's not the dominant direction. So, it's kind of hard.
Let's move to Love and Sex to kind of make it a little bit lighter just for a little bit. There's a couple that I really really like. My you did you did have one. You had a door in here. This is really awesome too. But Mellow, which was one of my favorite ones. We're going to talk about Love and Sex here. Some of the great lines from Love and Sex. Now, one of my favorite lines is actually going to end up in the funny part, the funny lyric, just because I just think it's hilarious that the lyric, "You never would have served my coffee if I've never served you cream." I just think that's the funniest friggin' line. I think he's one of the funniest lines he's written. "You never would have served me coffee if I've never served you cream." That's just the funniest friggin' line. But on this one, "I want to get lost in the composition of you, learn the rhythm and play only the notes you want me to." That's a song. That's from the song "Mellow" off of I think it's Rainbow Children. "I want to get lost in the composition of you, learn the rhythm and play only the notes you want me to." That's such a freaking great line.
That's powerful, man.
That's
now that's paying attention.
That is absolutely it. And there are a few here from one particular song that is one of my all-time favorite songs. A lot of people say, "All right, fine, pick your all-time favorite song." It's impossible for me to pick my all-time favorite song by Prince, but this one gets pretty friggin' close. It's going to end up in the top 3 of all time for sure. It's "If I Was Your Girlfriend."
Yes.
And this song, not only the way that it was crafted is so brilliant, the way that it was crafted. The first time I heard it, and I've admitted this before, the first time I heard it, I was a teenager. I was probably, I don't know when this came, I can't remember the exact year, but I was 17, I guess, probably somewhere around there. And when I first heard it, the only thing I could think was of like a gay angle, so I was immediately just kind of turned off by it. And then when I actually sat down with the lyrics, I was just like, just how gay is this song? And so I sat down with the lyrics and was like,
"Let me take my pants off and see."
Let me see. Let me just see. Box of tissue, check. Lotion, check.
Grab the lotion.
Let's see how gay this is.
I'll show them.
And then I sat and I was just like, "Oh, this isn't gay at all. Travesty."
Put this stuff away.
Anyways, there's a bunch of different ones. The first one is, "We don't have to make children to make love, and we don't have to make love to have an orgasm." That one's a great line. Another one of my favorite lines: "Would you run to me if somebody hurt you, even if that somebody was me?" I love that. That was a great song. He actually explained that on Prince Piano on a Microphone. He actually described he got that line because he was referring to the movie with Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand. What's the name of that movie? The Way We Were. And he was referring to the fact that they had gotten to this really huge fight, and he had said some really, really, really insanely hurtful things, and they kind of went their separate way. But she went back to him to talk it out, because that was her only friend. That was the only place that she could find solace. That's how much he meant to her, that even if he said those horrible things, that was still the only place that she could run to in order to find solace. And that's where he got inspiration for that line, was, "Would you run to me if somebody hurt you, even if that somebody was me?"
I love it.
That's great.
I love that line.
And then the other
line blew me away.
And then, "Would you let me dress you? I mean, help you pick out your clothes before we go out? Not that you're helpless, but sometimes those are the things that being in love's about." That's there's so many great lines in that song.
It changes your whole perspective. Like, no matter what you think, you see that line, you go, "Oh," like, "Oh, okay." That whole song did that. Okay.
Yeah, and you had obviously, I mean, come on,
couple of them. Yeah, I'll say this one off that same group. The "Forever in My Life" was the other one that that was one of my all-time favorites at that time too. Like If I Was Your Girlfriend and Forever in My Life, that was one of those and that whole song is strictly about that whole love. And so, anyways, moving on. Adore.
Yes.
You want to talk about the right lines and the right things to say. It starts off with, until the end of time, I'll be there for you. You own my heart and mind. I truly adore you. And if God one day struck me blind, your beauty I'd still see. Love is too weak to define just what you mean to me. That when I heard that song, that was it for me. It's a rap. A rap. Total rap. I just started crying. I started lactating. What?
Well, and then some people don't think about the lyrics. It's like, you don't really pay like serious attention to the things that he's saying. That's like some really insanely intense lyrics. It's just so funny.
It really is.
It's so funny to think that somebody can just create these lyrics that are just like, holy cow. It's just, and even the visuals that he create, like the song Girl. One of my favorite lines from Girl is, if I would be anything, I'd be the water in your bath. I mean, come on. Are you serious right now?
What was that line?
Baby, you so fine, I drink a tub of your bath water.
This is a little more romantic than that. But yeah. If I was anything, I'd be the water in your bath. That's just, oh my God. That's just ridiculous. Just, oh my God.
Those songs are strong. Talk about love songs. I mean, of course, we know there's many others, but those really, really, to me, that's top right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
All right, I guess we can get serious again for a second.
Gently.
All right, gently. We'll gently go into a topic that everybody here agrees on: religion.
Everyone knows that it's a thing.
Well, he had plenty of religious discussions, and he absolutely had tons of discussions.
Plenty of messages.
Plenty of messages. One of the songs that I immediately thought of from political song, which are a religious song, was Cinnamon Girl, which a lot of people wouldn't think Cinnamon Girl. But it's kind of confusing. The lyrics talk about Cinnamon Girl, obviously referring to her skin color, but how she had no idea what racism was until 9/11 happened. And then all of a sudden people started hating on her and accusing her of committing, the same crime that
right.
As a terrorist. And it was just like this whole, and the song starts with her saying a prayer to protect people. And then after the war is over, she starts praying that there won't be any more war. But what's confusing to me probably about this on the lyric side of things, on the video side of things, the visual representation of this song in the video, it shows her blowing up an airport, which is one of the reasons why it got pulled up. I think they had it on MTV for like a week, and then I guess somebody was like, wait, we can't show this right now. And then they took it down.
Absolutely.
But you can still see it on YouTube, but it follows along the storyline of this girl pretty much the whole entire video, but then at the end she actually blows up an airport. Now it does at that point, and then it goes in reverse and the explosion goes backwards, and maybe it's just something she's thinking in her head. But the whole thing is just that I think the whole point of it is like, if your religious beliefs are, causing some type of just people that, in general, he is not a big fan of organized religion by any form or fashion, which is kind of strange. Right. And the fact that he would be a Jehovah's Witness as a result, because that's probably one of the most organized ones that there is. As far as now I'm not talking about anything. I'm not talking about negativity or anything like that. I'm talking about as far as the tenets and
following
the rules that you have to follow. I think the only one is probably a little bit more. Well, and that it's hard, but it's
They
not,
follow the
it's not as
Bible.
hardcore as Jewish, the Jewish religion. It's not as hardcore as some of the religions that are over there in the in the Middle East. I mean, those are like,
Right.
yeah. But anyways,
Right.
it's just intense. It's not a rabbit hole.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, it's a dance around, kind of be careful kind of thing. But
I think I had a picture.
I hear you. I'm with you.
I think I had a picture of him in this video, and I didn't know. Hold on a second. I'm pretty sure I have it here. Let me open this. Yeah.
Cinnamon Girl, man.
Yeah, from Cinnamon Girl. I think I had a clip of him because he had something on his forehead, and I had to stop and see what it was. Let me see if I can share the screen. And I happened to notice it, and I said, "What is that about?" And then I looked it up, and I know what it's about, so I'll share it with you.
Right.
This is for the video. Yeah, it's 5'5" on his forehead in the Cinnamon Girl video. And once again, this is him referring to Matthew 5:5, the meek shall inherit the earth. And I thought that was interesting because I wasn't exactly sure what that meant. And then I looked it up, and there it was.
Mm-hmm.
He's speaking about Matthew 5:5 and the meek shall inherit the earth. That's all. What's the other song? Matthew 5.
Dear Mr. Man.
Yeah, Dear Mr. Man. That's the other one
Yeah.
where he refers to Matthew 5:5. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously one of his favorite lyrics for sure, because he quotes that one quite a bit for sure.
Right.
And the other one I had on religion was the great lyrics in Same Page, Different Book. The whole song just kind of refers to, same page, but a different book. So much more in common. Speaking about all the different types of religions. So much more in common if you'd only look. There's only one God. Whatever name he took only matters when it comes to war. What are we fighting for? So
yes.
Well,
That's they're kind of sum that up pretty.
Yeah, it's just because that's the one thing I did a little diatribe before on this when I was doing an album chat, and I think I was doing an album chat on Welcome to America. We were talking about Same Page, Different Book, and I was talking about my friend who wrote a really good friend who I've known for many, 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 many years, who wrote a book called Dirty Little Gods. And he talks about that. He talks about religions and how all the religions have this one common thread, this one common theme to all of them. And all of it is God. And that is the common theme through everything. Even in Satanism, God is like the core. It's just everything about it. And that's just the only thing that kind of differentiates one religion from another is just how some of the things are carried out and how literal and translations of this, that, or the other. It's just, again, same page, different book. I think that's I
get it. There's a couple of other good references out there. Somebody referenced Seven.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Anti-Christian.
What did Seven refer to though? I never understood exactly what
Seven. One day all seven will die. They're talking about the. Let me pull that up because actually there was something in there.
I was trying to remember what it referred to. It wasn't talking about. Was the seven. I don't remember what it was. Somebody here will know. I can't remember. Somebody told me before, and when they say it, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right." I couldn't remember when I was going to write down seven, but I couldn't remember what it meant.
No, I tell you, because
Anna said the 7 deadly sins.
No, I think that was something that was referenced, but it wasn't the seven.
Julie said, Julie said the same thing. Julie said 7 deadliest sins. Yeah, we definitely know that it's a biblical reference, but I was trying to, and it's certainly something that's covered in Revelation. Wasn't there 7 scrolls or something, or 7? I can't remember. But yes, there is a lot of religious statements in 7. Obviously, it's totally built on biblical principles. Now
I'm annoyed at that because I had that.
We're absolutely gonna have to look it up.
That's gonna have to come back. Yeah, I had some details on that.
We'll come back, and everybody kind of guessed the 7 deadliest sins. That's what.
Yeah, but it's.
I don't think that's it. There's something else.
It's not it. I mean, I know there's some articles that say that, but I'm reading it, and when he's talking about one day all 7 will fall, that's the angels. It's the 7 horn. There's another scripture that's more specific. But I'll find it. I will find it. I just don't remember what it is.
Let's see if Google for what is 7 in the song and
It-
Prince's
and
song 7. It's probably not. They're probably not going to guess that. But let's just say, there's actually a lyric to it, but I mean a video to it. But I don't want to look at that.
It's the 7 spirits. I know that from the 7 horns, 7 eyes. It's the 7 spirits.
On Andrea Mai's website. I don't know who Andrea Mai is, but she says the real meaning of Prince's love symbol 7 song interpretation. Released on a Love Symbol album. This album was released in 1992. Okay, we know all that. I don't need all the history. The concept of the 7 song is actually about twin souls that will reunite during the end times. Though he might not have had a name for what he was looking for in his life, he certainly did make music about it. Oftentimes, but I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, she's talking.
I
about,
think it's from Revelations 5.
It's
6.
definitely from Revelations. This whole thing is about Revelations. 7 seals is what Stacy referred.
Yes.
So, I know the seals will be broken. So maybe you could. I mean,
there were 7 spirits that were sent.
that's true too. Because
to the
remember
earth.
when Jesus comes back, all 7 seals are supposed to be broken.
That's
It's
from Revelations 5, 6.
right. There's a southern rock Christian artist that it was based in Georgia. He lives in Texas now, but his name was, and nobody here is going to know who this guy is. If anybody knows who this man is, I will be shocked. But in the 80s, his band Mylon Lefevre and Broken Heart were huge in Georgia, and they were really big. They were like Third Day is in Christian music today. That's how big they were in the 80s. And he has this song called I don't even remember the name of the song, but it's at the end of one of his albums, and he actually reads the entire scripture about the 7 seals and about the breaking of it and everything. And he's doing this weird synthesizer and he's reading scripture, and it's just it's an amazing album. It's an amazing band, but we'll have to find it. And who knows? Suzanne actually knows who they are. He said not just Georgia, they were big throughout the Bible Belt.
Okay.
Yeah, Mylon Lefevre was amazing. He was a writer. He had his own band. They were kind of like the Allman Brothers of Christian music. That's basically what they were, and they were just so freaking good. And then when they rocked it out, they rocked it out. But he used to write music for Elvis Presley, but he just decided, screw it, I'm gonna do stuff on my own. And he actually did really well. Now he pastors a church out in Texas, and he's like the head pastor. He's really good. Anyways, that's a heck of a
All right.
That's a heck of a rabbit hole there. All right, you had one more on this.
Yeah, under religion. This is another reference back to the love we make. The line, someone referred to the second part of that, but the first part that pulls me in is sacred is the prayer that asks for nothing while seeking to give thanks for every breath you take.
Oop, I'm scrolling.
The rest of it is blessed are we inside this prayer, for in the new world we'll all be there. The only love there is the love we make.
Right.
But that first part, man, sacred is the prayer that asks for nothing. And that's I mean, think about it. Every prayer is always, hey, help me.
Yeah.
What about thanking? Just giving thanks.
That is intense. I never thought about that lyric. Sacred is the prayer that asks for nothing, while seeking to give thanks for every breath you take. Wow. Yeah. That's intense. That's an amazing lyric. Sacred is the prayer that asks for nothing while seeking to give thanks for every breath you take.
And you know what's funny about that is that lyric is actually what made me like this song. This song was playing. I was in my car, and it was playing in the background. So I was just hearing music. It was from one of my playlists. I have a pretty large playlist, and it's still songs that just rotate. I don't hear it once a year by the time it gets through. And this was playing, and I hadn't heard it before. It was just playing, and I'm like, da-da-da-da. And then he hit that point, and the music was crescendo, hitting this point, and then boom, he hit those lines. And from that moment, I was captured. I said, what the heck did I just hear? And I couldn't help but to keep going back, because It's a common thing for me to just say thank you in a prayer, not even asking, just thanks for this and that and this and that, and then I don't even need to ask for anything else. Sometimes, that matters.
I think it's always funny how songs hit certain people. Like you were talking about how that song has how just hit you, and it's not a song that's like a really popular song. It's not like one of the hits, but like Dwan Blackshire, who's a good friend of mine. He's been on the show a few times. We talk quite a bit. He was telling me about. I said, "What's your favorite song?" And I didn't know what I expected, but he says, "My Computer," and I was like, "What? How is that your favorite song?" And he just said that was the first song that he ever listened to, and he said it was the first song that he had ever listened to that actually he saw colors. Like he actually visually saw colors. It was like some way, the way that the song was crafted, it was just he said he had never heard a song that was constructed in that way, and he said it really flipped the switch. I was like, man, I gotta go back and re-listen to this song, because I was just, and even if I re-listen to the song, I'm like, I guess some people are in tune with certain different things that just that flip a switch. It either emotes an emotional response based on, not, we were talking about binaural beats or before, but sometimes you can hear a song that maybe meant a lot to you as a child, because everybody's is brought up hearing different things and have different songs that will take you back to a specific time. That's the only way I can remember time anyways. It's like if I'll hear a song and I'll remember exactly where I was when that song came out, or the first time I heard it, or whatever. That's the only way that I can do time in my head and put it in chronological order. But yeah, I just think music is just so powerful that way. You actually had another one here too, for the tears in your eyes. That's another.
Yeah, how can you talk about a song about religion and not mention For the Tears in Your Eyes?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, that if that's not the most direct. Long ago there was a man, changed stone to bread with the touch of his hand, made the blind see and the dumb understand, and he died for the tears in your eyes. Right there. I don't even have to go into the rest of that. Like, and again, he makes that reference to the meek shall inherit the earth, in that same phrase. That's it. How can you not talk about, how can you talk religion and not, he sang about Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but he did it, and because that was a song that he wrote for the We Are the World.
For the We Are the World, exactly.
Album. So, I think he was, not that I've read the lyrics to every single one of the songs on that We Are the World compilation, but I would probably venture to guess that he was the only one to be singing about Jesus on that, especially, which is kind of a little bit unusual considering the fact of, what their whole purpose was really just kind of, saving people and trying to, help, which is exactly the whole purpose for Jesus, and I think that really resonated with Prince in that way. And
right.
Yeah, so it's just,
I mean, the second part of it, I guess I shouldn't skip over it. I guess I should at least say it. For the tears in your eyes and the tears of sorrow, 4 cents may be all that they're worth. For the rising sun each day assures us the meek shall inherit the earth.
There's that 5:5 again. There's Matthew 5:5 again. That's I did not realize that was Matthew 5:5 until you just said it. I was like, that makes 3 songs that we're aware of that he talks about Matthew 5:5. Well, he didn't talk about it in Cinnamon Girl. He just had it written on his head, but he had it there in the video. He talks about it in Dear Mr. Man, and he says it again here in For the Tears in Your Eyes.
I'm trying to remember when that came out, what it was the B-side to, because I remember it was a B-side to something, because that's how I heard it. I was like, oh, wow. But I cannot remember. It doesn't matter, I guess, yet. But it will someday.
All right, let's move on to another topic we can all agree on. Racism.
We can all agree on.
Actually, we can all agree on this. I think everybody here is of like mind in regards to, it's not like we have any white supremacists here or anything. I think we're good, safe in our ballpark here. One of the
Yeah.
things he had a lot. One of the things I did find interesting, though, is I would have loved to have sat down and talked with him about some of his ideology that he has, about when he talks about African Americans being here first, like before Christopher Columbus got here. We already know that Native Americans and Indians were here, but he also talks about Black Americans being here first. And there's a couple times that he makes reference to this. The first time was Artificial Cage, where he says, louder than a bomb since the day of my birth, got me second class when I got here first. That's louder than a bomb since the day of my birth, got me second class when I got here first. That's an intense friggin' line. And then he also said it in Family Name, where he says, teacher, teacher, what you say. Did we really come over in a boat? Did it really go down that way? Or did I arrive before you and ruin Thanksgiving Day? Teacher,
Right.
what you say.
I'm telling you, man.
I just, yeah. And then he talks a little bit about, when he talks about some of the lyrics in the song Family Name. And I wanted to read this out because a lot of people don't, I don't know that a lot of people have really paid attention to the lyrics to Family Name, but he kind of expands on it, definitely expands on it in the live version, One Night Alone live, when he breaks into Family Name and he's going through and he's giving everybody names, like, when they brought the slaves over and they gave them different names, Jim Brown and this, that, and the other. And so that was the whole point of that whole that whole little skit that he did, where he was just like, what's your name? We're going to name you John Lynch, and we're going to name you, what's your name? Rebecca. Rebecca. What's your last name? Rebecca. That whole thing, that whole little thing that happens there, really kind of goes to a lot of, again, some of the ideology. But one of the things that I did not realize this, but when I was digging for lyrics, because they have that computerized voice that tells the story when he clicks on, I can't remember what it was that he clicks on, but then the computerized voice goes into this diatribe that goes, and I'm going to read it, but not in the computerized voice. I'm going to try to put,
that's good.
I'm going to put it in the, I guess the tone that I think that it would be read if it was being read seriously and not in some stupid computerized voice. When a minority realizes its similarities on a higher level, not just Black, but people of color, and higher still, Indigenous. There he goes, making that comment that they were, about being here first. And higher still, Indigenous. And even higher still, from the tribe of. And yet higher, the rainbow children. When this understanding comes, the so-called minority becomes a majority in the wink of an eye. And this action will cause a reaction or resistance. And the source of this resistance must be banished, as it is in direct conflict with the initial action. It cannot be assimilated. For its very nature is resistance. In other words, one cannot serve two masters. You are either this or that, which is not this.
This is prophecy time.
That is like, and when you hear it on Rainbow Children and it's done in that computerized voice, which kind of takes emotion out of it and takes like the fluctuation of your voice, and that would be happens in normal conversation, it kind of removes that element, and you read it in that way, and in a way that you can kind of digest what's being said. It's like, holy good God. And it's pretty friggin' amazing. It's really
strong. It's really strong. It's really strong. I mean, yeah, we're getting into where the world is and where it's going. This is, like I said, I made a joke about it, but this is like prophecy type of thing. Like that's what he's doing. He's trying to touch on what's going to happen next.
Yeah. I
That's
see people laughing about Rebecca. I could just see that I don't know if this girl was white or black, but she sounded like a white girl. I was just like, Rebecca,
Rebecca.
what's your last name, Rebecca?
Rebecca.
It's like, Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Oh my God.
That's enough. Oh, sorry.
So, and somebody just brought up Avalanche. And
Oh yeah.
I actually did have.
Yep.
I could not pick one lyric out of Avalanche because I wanted to read the entire, not the entire. I don't think it says it's the entire song, but it's a pretty big chunk of Avalanche because again, one of these songs that if you're not paying attention to what he's saying, it's insanely deep. So I'll go ahead and read it from Avalanche.
Okay.
He was not, I guess he's referring to Abraham Lincoln. He was not or never had been in favor of setting our people free. If it wasn't for the 13th Amendment, we would have been born into slavery. He was not or never had been in favor of letting us vote. So you see, Abraham Lincoln was a racist who said, you cannot escape from history, like the snow coming down from the mountain that landed on Wounded Knee. Now he's referring to the Battle of Wounded Knee that happened not like insanely long ago. It's like only like 2 grandmas ago.
In the scheme of things, 2 grandmas. Yeah.
Grandmas ago. That only happened 130 years ago, where the U.S. Army killed like 300 unarmed Indians in South Dakota. I think if you go to like, you can read more about it, but it was the ultimate part of this was they were trying to disarm this group of Indians at Wounded Knee, and one of the Indians was deaf and wouldn't give up his gun, wouldn't give up his rifle because they thought they were just trying to take it from him, and he had obviously spent a lot of money or it was a big trade or something, and he didn't want to give up his gun. And I guess somewhere during a tussle, the gun went off, and then all hell broke loose. And not only did it was only 29 people from the Army side of it that was killed, but they killed 300 unarmed Indians in South Dakota. Mm-hmm. And some of those people from the Army received a Medal of Honor for it, by the way. They were like, oh, you were in such a horrible situation. You survived. Thank you for, honoring and representing the United States and, and staying alive and killing these horrible
right.
It's insane.
Good job.
Good job killing those engines.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I think now there's like a court case or something that's going on that they're the tribe, I think it's Lakota tribe or I can't remember the name of it, or Latoka. They're actually trying to get the government to rescind those Medal of Honors that were given as a result of Wounded Knee. But anyways, then the song goes on. Nobody wants to take the weight, the responsibility. Hear the joyous sound of freedom. That's what we were talking about with the Medal of Honor and all that stuff. It's like, oh, we're it's the freedom of the United States. Yeah, and here's your medal. Nobody wants to take the weight of the responsibility for what actually happened there. And then he talks about the Harlem Renaissance. Hear Duke Ellington and his band kick another jungle jam. Ooh, do you want to dance? Who's that lurking in the shadows? Mr. John Hammond with the pen in his hand, saying, sign your kingdom over to me and be known throughout the land. And of course, he's referring to record contracts and everything that they did to take away music rights and everything else. But you ain't got no money and you ain't got no cash. So sign your name, and he claims innocence. Just like every snowflake in an avalanche, like the snow coming down the mountain. That line alone, just like every snowflake in an avalanche. I mean, that whole song is just full of just insanity. It's just. I mean, it's exactly. Brandon said, "School's in."
School, right? I mean, this is what we're talking about. This is powerful lyrics.
Stacy gave us a little bit of update. The government did resend those medals a few years back. That's good news. I did not.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh my
Man.
God.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I can't even say anything to that. Like
it's just one of those. It's just one of those things. Yeah.
that's one of those you state it and then you sit back and you let it marinate.
Right. Exactly. And we got to end this. We got to kind of close out the night with some one-liners, some ones that always hit me every time I hear them. Always like, God, I freaking love that. Just like thugs, and I don't think you added any to this list, but I'm sure
I didn't.
maybe one or two might come to you as you're thinking about it. I just have like four of them. The one of them I had was electric chair. That line
Oh,
where he
yeah.
goes like a G flat and the E in the
With
bass.
the E in the
And the-
bass. Yeah.
when all the vocals drop down to an E flat, the song's not in in G flat. The song is not in it's not in that key at all. And the fact that he takes it and like dips it down into there just to say G flat is just it. That is like the most friggin' ingenious thing ever. When
That's brilliance.
like a G flat and the E in the bass, and then he goes back. It's like, oh my God, that just happened, and it happened so quick. It's like
Then
that,
it's over.
it's like that Black Thought line. It's like 50 cents away from a quarter. If you're not paying attention to it, and you don't stop and go, wait, 50 cents away
Right.
from a quarter.
Right.
It's like,
It's so easily quickly missed.
you can miss it. Just goes by so quick. Another one was Ballad of Dorothy Parker. The
Mhm.
line, and it was Joni singing, "Help me, I think I'm
Me.
falling." Phone rang. I mean, that whole. I love it when and that's two examples back to back of something where he takes something and goes into a completely different melody or a completely different key just to communicate. In this particular case, he was doing "Help Me, I Think I'm Falling" in the same key as Joni's song.
Right.
And it was just so perfectly woven into the melody flow of that lyric that
It
you
belonged.
can hear the song. You can hear the song in your head. It was just so magically crafted.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a whole different song. Like
I
it is.
don't know that I've ever heard Joni comment on that at all. I've heard her comment about Prince being at her concerts and stuff like that, but I don't remember her ever commenting on what she thought of that song. Maybe I'm sure that she probably has at some point.
Yeah, probably.
I may have missed it, but I just think that's so. I mean, what an honor to even be mentioned.
I know.
In a song. It's just freaking. That's amazing. And I've brought this one up before. The song "I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man."
Hmm.
It's another one of these things that if you're not paying attention,
What does that mean?
it just slips right by you. The line is, "He left her with a baby and another one on the way," which you don't really think about it the way that he says it, but that means that the whole time that he's in this club or he's playing, or this woman that's hitting on Prince in this song, whoever she is, she's pregnant.
Right.
It's one of those nuances that people don't catch.
Don't even
Like a
think
side-
about it.
You're not even thinking about it. He left her with a baby and another one on the way. It's just
Right.
the way that lyric just kind of slides out.
Right.
You don't even think about the fact that she's pregnant.
And she's coming on to you. Like
she's coming on to you.
she's
Look,
trying to get you to take.
it's like, oh my God. How did And
Right.
I don't think that even hit me until many years later.
Man,
And I was just like, wait, another one on the way. That's so
yeah, no, I admit it didn't hit me until I read the notes. I was like, wait, what? Huh?
Who? And then, of course, the legendary. We'll close out with this one. The legendary. Of course, we may take a couple on the. I see people making comments here about Anastasia and Cross. We could be doing this all night for sure. Absolutely.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
But we kind of want to end
So
on
many
a
great ones.
lighter a note. But the two that are the couple mentions of squirrel meat. I just the super funky califragisexy with a bucket full in it, squirrel meat. And of course, in Two Nigs for United for West Compton was a squirrel meat. Don't try it. This whole, I always wanted to know exactly what the reasoning was for bringing up squirrel meat like multiple times. It's on the same album though. I mean, I don't think he talks about squirrel meat on any other album except for the Black Album. But the fact
keeps
is
coming back.
It's brought up twice in this. I just think is hilarious. And isn't Two Nigs United for West Compton, that was originally When the Dawn of the Morning Comes. Because it's the same exact, isn't it the same exact instrumentation? But
yeah, it is actually.
It's the same exact instrumentation, but it was just taken out and made instrumental for the Black Album. But actually, it started out as a, I guess, as a, not really a worship song, but it's a religious song.
Right.
But I guess he just said, you know what? these instruments, this
I
whole
like this.
thing is, I'm gonna make it totally.
Let's use that.
I guess whatever.
For in it, squirrel meat.
Yeah, it's just so much fun. Thank you so much. Arlene says this show has been really good. While a lot of the lyrics were meaningful or powerful in some way, the lyrics were also clever and so well observed. Such great reminders of how smart and clued in Prince was. Thanks. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and Damian Christopher says, I can't believe you guys didn't mention Get on the Boat. There's tons of songs. I've talked about that song before, about the religion of about getting on the boat. Apparently there's only going to be room for, how many people are there room for on the boat? I heard some comedian talk about it. Who was it? There was a comedian that talked about it, not Maria Bamford. There was another a comedian who was talking about the fact that only so many people are allowed on the boat. And so she doesn't understand why they're going door to door trying to get more people to get.
Oh, yeah. 144,000.
It's like only 144,000 people can get on this boat. So why are you telling?
So why are you telling everybody? That's yeah.
You've already got reservations. Why are you trying to get more people? It's just so funny.
The good thing about this is, of all the songs and all the categories, we've had so many great suggestions and ideas from other people that we haven't been able to list everything, but it's great. I mean, I'm looking at some of the things people are writing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that one too.
Oh yeah, there's so many of them out there. We could do this for forever. But
there's so much squirrel meat.
Next lyric song that lyrics show that we'll do will be funny lyrics. That will be the next one that we do, because funny lyrics are just. There's so many great, hilarious lines that he's got in some of these songs. There was one that I don't know that Prince wrote. I think it was just something that Morris did, but every time I hear it, it makes me laugh. At the end of Chocolate, where he goes, "Stuffing, we need gravy."
Well,
I don't know why that. There's certain lyrics that no matter how many times I hear it, it makes me laugh. That one makes me laugh. The other one's a Bootsy Collins song where, what is it? Dun, 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 dun. He goes, sing, and it's not a part where they sing, and he goes, oh. I can't remember the song. It was one of his big.
We got to make sure we talk to Greg, because we're definitely going to have to write a song with Liquid Chicken.
Oh yeah, we got yeah. We're
gonna keep the fun in there.
Anyway, so much fun. We had Rob Rhythm cannot join us tonight, but Jeff and I were able to kind of pull it together. We have a really, really fun time just talking about all things at all Prince. And Julie, thank you, Julie. She says, I love the show. You guys are so my people. Purple fam. Thank you kindly. We would love to hang out with you guys too. And you have the opportunity to actually do this on Thursday, November 11th. We are going to be having a party you are not going to want to miss. It's going to be so friggin' fun.
Gotta come out.
I'm telling you, you got to come out. November 11th. It's in Lawrenceville, Georgia, which is about 30 minutes outside of Atlanta.
Yep.
So it's up in Gwinnett County, and it's in historic downtown Lawrenceville. And we're taking over this place called Painting with a Twist. There are 2 painting places that are in there, but it's this one called Painting with a Twist. Just remember the twist part.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, but anyways, tickets are $45. You can get them at tamardavis.com/merch. And Tamar is going to be there. We're going to be there. We're going to be DJing, but let me complete building it up, because we're going to be taking over this place. You guys are going to be able to come and paint. Paint. You can paint whatever you want, but Tamar is going to be there. Tamar is going to be there. She's going to be hanging out. She's going to be painting with you guys. She's going to be walking around and hanging out with everybody. She's going to be signing stuff. She's going to be. We're going to be listening to her music. Tamar is going to be there the whole entire night. We're going to be drinking. They're going to get drink tickets. You're going to get food to eat. Lots of stuff that's going to be going on. The Funkatopia live crew is going to be there. We are going to be there. I am going to be DJing. Jeff Page is going to be there, and Rob Rhythm is flying in from Arizona, and he is going to be there. All 3 of us are going to be there, and we're going to be playing music and DJing, playing tons of Prince music and lots of funk, and of course Tamar's music as well. There's going to be drinks. On top of that, again, it's amazing. You're going to get to paint. You're going to get to keep the painting that you paint.
This time.
This time. You get to keep the painting that you paint. You're going to be actually taught what to paint and how to paint by a professional artist. And Tamar is going to be there. Ashley Tamar Davis. You remember her from Beautiful, Loved, and Blessed? She was really a hardcore part of the Prince fam in 3121. She actually did that tour where Prince toured with her and played guitar on her tour. Prince was Tamar's guitarist on the Tamar tour, and Tamar is going to be there, and she is going to be hanging out and signing stuff and So if you got an album or vinyl or CD, she's going to be talking with everybody. We're just going to be chilling. We're going to be painting stuff, and
be there.
And you're going to get, and it costs $45. You get all of that, plus on top of that, again, us DJing and playing a bunch of music. You're going to be there. You're going to get 2 drink tickets, so you're going to be able to get drinks. You're going to be able to, there's going to be hors d'oeuvres there. And we're going to be doing this from 6 until 9 at Painting with a Twist in Lawrenceville, Georgia. And then even after that, I think what's probably going to happen is that we will leave from there and we will go to another location, like a bar down the street. So it's going to be a big Prince gathering
after show.
Is going to be an after party. We'll figure that out. We need to figure out an after party. That's what I need to do.
That's what we need to do. We need to have a jam session.
Do an after party, because there's a place right down a couple of doors down called Cosmos Pizza that has incredible pizza, and I think they've got like a little area where people can play. Might be able to do something down there. We'll do an after party there. I mean, we will turn this thing out. And of course, if you came to depending with the thing, you'll come to the after party. We'll do it. We'll just friggin' jam.
Show some love. Come out. We're going to hang out. We're going to all hang out together.
And tonight, if you want to come, if you're in driving distance from Atlanta, or you happen to be in the area or whatever, you can get $5 off your ticket if you go through Venmo, which is at Funkatopia, Funkatopia, or you can do the Cash App, which is $Funkatopia, Funkatopia. You can do those. You can do it, and it's only $40 through there. And that is tonight, and I'll probably honor that through tomorrow as well. But then after that, tickets are going to be $45, and you can get them through Tamar's website. Oops, almost knocked over my microphone. tamardavis.com/merch. That's TamarDavis/merch, MERCH, which is short for merchandise, obviously. I will put all those links up there, but you can get them through either way, but you need to come. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be there. It's going to be insane. We're going to have so much fun. I don't know how many tickets we've sold already, but we've done quite a bit. But if you do, Venmo, and there's limited seats, so this is going to be awesome. And hopefully we can do a little bit of an after party and do a jam. It's going to be great. I can't wait.
Yep.
It's gonna be so much friggin' fun. Unfriggin' real. It's gonna be so much fun. But anyways, yeah, somebody's asking what the Braves game scenario is. I don't know. Does anybody know?
I don't know. I'm not watching it. I can put it on. I got a TV behind me here.
So and Jessica English is coming. We got word from her. She is absolutely coming. Elisa is coming. Jill is coming. We got all these people.
Awesome.
We already got all these people coming. Plus, on top of that, again, we'll all be there. We'll all be there as well. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Jam.
And this is gonna be this is absolutely gonna be.
I can't wait.
Jam. And I haven't even checked Venmo, but again, you can save tickets. But I want everybody to come, and it's gonna be a blast. Let's see if there's anything going on. All right, so it's gonna be fun. Tickets are gonna go fast, so please get them while you can. I don't want you to miss out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Hang out with Tamar and the whole Funkatopia live crew. It's gonna be ridiculous. So I'm looking forward to it.
We're gonna have fun.
We're gonna have some fun for sure. Absolutely, it's not gonna happen. According to somebody said the Braves
5-1.
What? Shut up. That's not what's happening. That's really what's
Right
happening?
now, according, yeah.
Holy
word is
Braves are winning 5-1. And they're the underdogs.
right. Well,
They're the underdogs.
somebody's got to do it. Might as well be the Braves.
I mean,
Yes.
you can, if they can win 1 or 2 games and then get home field advantage out of this, be able to win 2 of those games in Houston and then come over here and only have to win a couple more
Man, I hope they get a touchdown.
Well, let's just do a couple more field goals and then we'll call it a night.
Just a few more. Goal!
All right, everybody, let's put the music back on. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We are I always try to put on a song that is not a official song, I guess, so that we don't
They'll still try to flag us.
Oh, they're gonna flag us no matter what. I don't
It doesn't matter.
I know. I
appreciate everybody for coming out. This was a blast. Good show. Fun stuff. I love all the feedback. Great lyrics. Great songs. This is going to get better. Next time we do the goofy stuff.
Yeah, we're going to do funny lyrics. And
considering how serious we are.
Yeah, we actually have 2 possible guests that may be joining us on November 9th. No, I'm sorry. November 9th is when we're going to be back on. And all of us, all 3 of us, will be in the same studio. We'll all be right here in my studio. So that's going to be interesting and fun. So I have no idea what's going to happen there. Yeah. Maybe we might do a funny lyrics one. But we got 2 possible guests that could possibly be on that day or the following. So just hang out.
Ones you won't want to miss.
Hopefully we'll see all of you guys, as many of you as possible, on November 11th in Atlanta. Please make plans to be here because it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be totally insane. So dumb. It's going to be, I mean, I got to make up for all the lack of partying that I've done. So Venmo and Cash App, please try to make it. It's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait to see all you guys. And let's put on some music. Actually, let's do Run Amok because they're never
Run Amok. So let's wrap it up. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Hope you had a good time.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.
All